versus Maori, and we are on. Hey guys, how you going? So down BKRsport. We are live as the Maori team from Aotearoa, New Zealand, take on the Indigenous All Stars here in Hamilton at FMG Stadium in Waikato, which is the first real big game of the NRL calendar year. This is the one where you see some of the best players across our great game of rugby league in the NRL come out and represent their culture, come out and represent where they are from, and it's just so impactful. It is such a great way to inclusify so many different cultures, even though these cultures are just implemented anyway. It's such a good day to put them on show for everybody to see. That's what today is all about. It's actually not even really about the win and the lose. If you win, it's obviously fantastic for you, yourself and for your culture. If you lose, at the end of the day, you took part in such an amazing event. So that's why I love this down the calendar year every single year. Of course, we love Anzac Day. Of course, we love multicultural round as well, but this is very much the same. However, just really a lot more out there and in your face, which is what I love to see. But all right, guys, let's go through these two team lineups. Obviously, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. We do have an NRL preseason game right after this, which is going to be the Cronulla Sharks taking on the Parramatta Eels. That's the last game of rugby league this round. Next week, obviously, we get back underway for the final week of the preseason. And in 2 weeks' time, we got Las Vegas. The season starts in just 2 weeks. However, after watching the Newcastle Knights yesterday and also the Dragons, I don't know how exciting Vegas is going to be. No, don't know. Don't know about that one, but it will be great regardless. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, let's do it. So the Maori, they play host at FMG Stadium, Waikato in Hamilton, up against the Indigenous All Stars. The fullback is the man, the machine, the absolute goat of rugby league, Keano Kenny, Gold Coast Titans fullback. What a man. Wingers, Jojo Fafita, also spectacular. And then down on Watani is a Lesniak. Centres of Casey McLean and Mawene Hiroti. Actually, I should tell you the teams. I should go through the teams that they actually play for too. So Keanu Kenny, Gold Coast Titans. Jojo Fafita, Gold Coast Titans. Down on Watani is a Lesniak. He's at the New Zealand Warriors with Casey McLean, who is at the Penrith Panthers. And then Mawene Hiroti in the centre. He's at the Sharks now, but next year he's actually going across to the Gold Coast Titans in 2027. 5'8", Charles Nickel Clockstad from the Warriors, and the halfback is Tamati Martin from the New Zealand Warriors. The front row forwards are Trey Mooney, Trey Mooney's at the Knights now, isn't he? He was originally at Canberra, but he's at Newcastle now. Yes, he is. He's a prop forward for the Newcastle Knights. Well, they're probably going to need him, that's for sure, after what we saw yesterday. He's alongside Reece Hunt from the West Tigers, and the number 9 is Zach Docker-Clay from the Roosters. Go to the back row of Brett Nakora from the Cronulla Sharks and Jacob Laban from the Warriors. And then James Fisher-Harris, he is the lock. He is also from the New Zealand Warriors. You go to the interchange, Trent Toalau. Is he Panthers? I feel like he is. Preston Ricky also feel like he's Panthers. Joe Chant, Melbourne Storm, and it doesn't have a number 18 here on this this team sheet. It doesn't have an 18. But there is 3 guys on the reserves, which is Mainea Fateri, who I'm not too sure where he's from, Adam Pompey, Warriors, and then Jesse Arthurs. Is he still at the Broncos? He is. I'm pretty certain he's still at the Broncos there. So a couple of players there I was a little bit unsure of where they are, but overall, it's a very good Māori team. I do think they've had better Māori teams in the past, though. I feel like this does seem a little bit imbalanced in a couple of areas on this team, but it's going to be exciting regardless. Now we go to the Indigenous All Stars team. You've got Trey Fuller, who... where's he at? Is he Dolphins now? Dearie me. You know, we watched every game here, and I'm... I think he's Dolphins, isn't he? We watched every game here, and yet I'm struggling with a couple of these players. Trey Fuller's involved in the best backup fullback at any club. Okay, sure, yeah. So I'm sure he's still at the Dolphins, but maybe it's Perth or like a knocking on the door or something like that. I'm not too sure. Wingers are Josh Adokar from the Parramatta Eels and Alofiana Camperera. What a man. He is over at the New Zealand Warriors now, just came across from the Gold Coast Titans. The centres are Jack Whiten from the South Sydney Rabbitohs and Jesse Ramian from the Cronulla Sharks. Braden Trindle is the 5'8" from the Cronulla Sharks. And the halfback is Nico Hines, who is the captain, also from the Cronulla Sharks. You got the front row forwards. Shakai Mitchell, don't think that he's actually signed with the Rabbitohs anymore, but I'm going to give him Rabbitohs for the time being. Blake Steep from the Roosters, and then Connor Watson from the Roosters is the number 9. Back row of Tallis Duncan from the Rabbitohs, and Josh Paxton from the Gold Coast Titans get around him, and then Hohepa Peru, who I believe he's actually off the Titans as well next year in 2027, but is with the Sharks right now. I think he's coming across with Moani Hiroti. Then you go to the interchange. Jamal Fogarty from now the Manly Seagulls was at the Raiders. Jaden Campbell, JC from the mighty Gold Coast Titans. Caden Lars, think Cowboys maybe. Caden Lars, is he Cowboys or Raiders? Yeah, it is Cowboys. I was right there. And then Oliver Pascoe, also Gold Coast Titans. Mate, we're flying at the moment. Then you go to Caleb Tohi. Now, Caleb Tohi, I have not seen this name before. Caleb Tohi is Raiders, I believe, from a photo that's come up from the knock-on effect New South Wales Cup. So I believe he's Raiders. And then Brent Wolf. There's another name here that I've heard, but I haven't actually seen. Brent Wolf is a hooker for the Dolphins, apparently. So, yeah, look, a couple of players there that are getting their first time to really put their name under the bright lights and shine out here. I do feel like the back line of this Indigenous side is just very, very strong and well-rounded. You've got the halves here for the Indigenous team that are preliminary finalists for the Cronulla Sharks in Nicho Hynes and Braden Trindle. Jesse Ramian, also preliminary final team. Alofiana Khan-Pereira, one of the fastest guys in rugby league. He's got an absolute massive strike rate in this game with tries. And yes, he's gone across now to the Warriors, but he's just going to get bigger and better, man. Unbelievable winger. And Josh Adokar, also speedster. Not as speedy as he once was, but also still definitely a speedster. Trey Fuller, as we said before, one of the best backup fullbacks in the entirety of the competition. And then you've got the centres of Jack Whiten, where we know how good he is, and he's obviously been a big part of New South Wales at points throughout his career. Maybe not at that same level now, but at the end of the day, still a fantastic play. That 1 through 7 is great. The 1 through 7 for the Maori team, very strong in the fullback with Keanu Kenny. And the wingers are solid, but nothing out of this world for mine. And then Jojo, obviously, it might be the greatest bloke of all time. But I just feel like it's a little bit imbalanced here. The centres are very strong, though. And Case McLean really has been coming onto the scene. Moani Hiroti, not great under the high ball, but is a solid player overall. And then the halves do concern me a bit, though. Tamati Martin, he more so plays in the 6 when he's at the Warriors. Now he's the 7. Chance Newell-Klokstad usually plays as the fullback or centre when he plays for the Kiwis, but now he's in that 5'8", so I just feel like there's that little bit of an imbalance. However, as we always do say, though, I do think that the Māori team does have a better forward line, which is what you usually expect in this matchup. The big guys from the Māoris just have that big bolster bodies, which is what you're seeing. Trey Mooney, big body. Royce Hunt, massive body. Britton Okora. He's actually got an interesting year coming up because he got suspended at one point last year for the Sharks. One of the best back rowers in the game. Got suspended, and then he actually couldn't get back into the team at one stage because who was it again for the Sharkies that was just having an electric second half of the season? He was having an absolutely unbelievable second half of the season that you just couldn't hold out from. I'm going to go back to this preliminary final, and I'm going to go see who it was again. Oh, Billy Burns. Oh my gosh, he was so good in the back part of last year that he actually held Britton Okora out from getting his spot back, and Britton Okora was forced to come off the bench as the 14 in that preliminary final and towards that back part of the season. So whilst Britton Okora is one of the best in the game right now, also, it does need to be noted that he had to fight for his position and didn't get his position back at the Sharks. I would assume for the start of this year, they're going to go with Britton Okora there because it's not about the form anymore. It's not about the continuity. It's about a whole fresh new start of the season, and Britton Okora on paper and realistically is one of the best back rowers in the game. But it's just an interesting little tidbit that he is getting knocked on the door of his own spot in the Sharks, where he's not actually a certainty week in, week out as we speak. And, James Fisher-Harris, massive. Jacob Laban, very, very solid there for the Warriors. So if you're talking about fullbacks, I'm taking this Māori team over the Indigenous. Shakai Mitchell, I don't even know if he has a club right now. Blake Steep, he's on the edges of the Roosters. Connor Watson, very good though. Tallis Duncan, very good for the Rabbitohs. Josh Patchison on the edges of the Gold Coast Titans, and Hoepa Peru on the edges of the Cronulla Sharks. There's a lot more solidity there in that Māori pack compared to the pack of the Indigenous. But I just feel like there's going to be a lot more clear direction from Nicho Hynes and Braden Trindle. And you don't necessarily say that a whole damn well bunch when it comes to the NRL, because you do have quite a few issues when it comes to their halves and getting them over the line. But I'm probably going to say that I feel the Indigenous win this game today. I just feel like there's more consistency across their team. And then, if it's not working in those halves, you've got Jamal Fogarty to steady the ship, or you've got Jaden Campbell to come up and spice it around. The bench here for the Indigenous is very solid comparatively to the Maori bench, where I can't see the number 18, to be fair, but Joe Chan, Preston Ricky and Trent Toll are all on the edges of their respective clubs too. So, look, I'm going to take Indigenous. Look, there's a world that are 13 plus, but I'll go 1-12 because I really want this to be a close game. I want it to be a good game where both teams go down to the wire. That would be awesome to see, but it just comes down to the fact that there is those big guys in the halves, and they've got big halves on the bench as well. But alright guys, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, let's get to the chat. Let me know your thoughts on this game today and get around it. Harohoni Wiparata says, how the hell did the Māori lose that one? Yeah, I did see in the women's game, they were up, I think, 14-0, and the Indigenous chased it down to win that game 20-14. I'll just go confirm that. I'm pretty certain that was the score, though. So it was 20-14 is the final score. Yeah, Reema Butler, Tanika Wilson all scored 3 tries in the first 22 minutes. But then Phoenix Rain Hippie got on the board for the Indigenous, and then Caitlin Turnbull, Crystal Blackwell, and Jada Taylor. So yeah, massive comeback from the Indigenous girls there. Late on in the first half, but also, in that middle portion of that second half as well, because we do know that the women's game is only 35-minute halves rather than 40-minute halves. So they scored 32 and 34 from the Indigenous right before half-time, and then 45 and 58 was pretty well pieced across the second half, though. Aspect says, yesterday it didn't happen. Come on, Maori. Yeah, no, yesterday happened, mate. Yeah, plenty of rugby league happened yesterday. Kiwis, unfortunately, struggled in that South Africa versus New Zealand game, too. The Kiwis absolutely got dominated in that one. South Africa just slapped them into oblivion. But tonight we will be live as India take on Pakistan. Now that's a mental game. Now that is a mental game tonight. But plenty of rugby league yesterday, mate. The old Dragons, very, very disappointing. The biggest disappointers of the day, the second biggest disappointment was the Knights, but we've come to expect that in a lot of ways. Great performance from the Rabbitohs. Who else and what else we got here? There was the Warriors, who got done pretty disappointingly with a more experienced lineup to Joe Walsh's Manly Seagulls. And the other game was Tigers Roosters, where both teams just played reserve grade squads, but Tigers still looked decent in that game. Shauno says, good morning, mate. Get around your Shauno. Aspects says, Raiders not pumped by 30 in pre-season and went on to finish 4th, so Dragons will repeat history. Yeah, I don't know about that, brother. Yeah, don't know about that, mate, because you're using a pre-season game where I'm sure the Raiders didn't play a full-strength team, whilst the Dragons yesterday, yeah, no, they play a full-strength team, son. Oh, yeah, they did. And Rabbitohs, they barely played anyone. Evans says, knows how both of the teams have Titans players in them. Plenty of Titans players in this game. Plenty. You got Keanu Kinney, you got Jojo Fafita. Moeni Hiroti will be a Titans player next year. You've got anybody else here from the... So nobody else from... Jesse Arthurs used to be, but you've got 3 from the Māori team. And then for the Indigenous team, you've got... previously, Alofiana Campera, obviously. Josh Paxton. Hohepa Peru apparently is coming to the Titans next year. So that's 5 so far. Jamal Fogarty used to. Jaden Campbell, that's 6. And Oliver Pascoe, that's 7. So it's 7 current or next year Titans players. And then if you want to go through the ex-Titans players here, wowee. there's plenty here. There's plenty here. For example, obviously, Jesse Arthurs was one of them. Jamal Fogarty was another one of them. Lofiana Cabrera was another one of them. But anyway, overall, there is, it's plenty of like there from a Titans perspective. Clyde says, man, my Dragons are cooked, bottom 4 at best. I hope I'm wrong, but damn, it's not the coach either. Son of my grand final ticket. Yeah, grand final ticket's probably off the cards. Probably out of the cards right now, the old grand final ticket for Dragons fans. But I do think that you do have to lay blame onto Flano, but I feel like there's also so much more wrong at that club than just Flano. So I'm not saying that it's Flano's fault, but I don't think it's a point where you say it's not the coach either. It's definitely partly, There's definitely partly there because players have come out over the years and said like he's playing favourites, and you can obviously see that he's playing favourites. But there's also a cultural issue right now, and a lot of just internal issues at that club that need to be rectified. Scott says, "Hi, Baker. I'm Indigenous. If Indigenous cover plus 14.5, I'll donate 5%. Good stuff, Scotty. How much is that? Plus 14.5. I think that'll be the case. I think that'll be the way, mate. I think they'll be able to do that. I think the Indigenous will win this game. I think they should win this game, to be honest with you." Ben says, "I should have watched the women's one. They did versus the Sharks last year. They played a full strength roster, did they? A full strength roster? I'll give a look. Either way, though, you Dragons, brother, you're setting yourself up for complete disappointment, bro. Like complete disappointment. Please, 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 please. Please realise your mistakes right now. I'm begging. I am begging. Where's the Raiders here? Okay, so 40-10 against the Sharks. And okay, yeah, it's a pretty strong team. Either way, though, you guys don't have that same kind of team. But yeah, that's a pretty strong team. Scott says, "In a multi, $50 I'll win." Well, there you go. Good stuff. Clyde says, "Last night we used our first grade roster." Yes, no, I know that. But there's about 15 minutes to go until the game does get started. Give me some score predictions. I'm going to say the Indigenous team win 26 to... I'm going to go 26-14. I think a 12-point win. I feel like the Indigenous just should be a little bit better here. But then again, it is in New Zealand. Not that I think that really matters a fantastic amount in a game like this. But I just feel this Indigenous team have a bit too much class from them. I'm going to go 26-14. If Māori win, Fox scores and McLean scores, I'll donate $8. Jeez, okay, so now we just need Indigenous not to lose by 15, which I definitely think will happen. Māori win, Fox scores and McLean scores. Yeah, but I don't think that Māori would win. I don't think they do it. Prove me wrong. But they need to have a very classy game, because if you're not getting what you want out of the halves in Nicho Hynes and Braden Trindle, well, you've still got Jamal Fogarty and Jaden Campbell that can come in. You know, Jaden Campbell, if you're not finding the big positivity at the fullback, you can chuck him into there, even though he's obviously adjusted his game significantly, and now he is the halfback at the Titans. Not that I really necessarily think that's the case. I don't necessarily believe that Jaden Campbell should be the halfback, but at the end of the day, he is there. I'd prefer to see him 5'8", and a guy like Lockie Ellis or Zane Harrison as the 7. But obviously, no, he is the 7. But he used to be the fullback, and I would love to see him there rather than Trey Fuller. But then again, Trey Fuller can get it going as well. So it'll be interesting to see how it does pan out today. Oh, they've got Ultimate Rugby. Oh, they've got League, Union, and Aussie Rules going up against each other in a TV show here today. They've got Chapo, they've got Reece Walsh, they've got Ali Brigginshaw. Rivals. I mean, it's like a Rugby League versus Rugby Union versus AFL TV show. Indigenous are paying $2.15 for a win? Really? Wow, that's crazy. Are you saying the Indigenous are underdogs here? What? How are the Indigenous underdogs? How are the Indigenous underdogs here? That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Fullback-wise, Kenny wins. That's 1-0 New Zealand. Wingers-wise, Adokar and Lofina Khan-Pereira versus Georgia Fida and Watini Selesniak. I'm taking Adokar and Lofina Khan-Pereira, so that's 1-1. Centres of Casey McLean and Moini Hiroti versus Jack White and Jesse Ramian. I'm taking the Indigenous there. That's 2-1. You go to the halves, Braden Trindle and Nicho Hynes versus Charles Newell-Clockstad and Tamani Martin. That's 3-1. Go to the front row forwards of Royce Hunt, Trey Mooney, Shakai Mitchell, Blake Steep. Then I'm taking the Māoris there. That's 3-2. Zach Docker-Clay for the Māoris versus Connor Watson in the 9. Well, Connor Watson is the hooker at the Roosters, and Zach Docker-Clay is the backup. So I'm going to take Connor Watson for the 4-2. Tallis Duncan and Josh Patson versus Britt Nakora and Jacob Laban. I think it's closer than you think, but I will take the Māoris there to make it 4-3. Fisher Harris, Hepa Peru. Okay, well, there you go. I'll go 4-4. But then the bench makes it 5-4 to the Indigenous with Fogarty, Campbell, Caden Lars, and Oliver Pascoe versus Trent Holau, Preston Rick, and Joe Chan. And somebody else that doesn't have it on here on the number 18 on the team list. I guess because of the forward pack. Yeah, but it doesn't make sense. the forward pack's still not that unbelievable. Like, the forward pack is still, it's solid, but like, it's not like it's out of this world. It's not like it's out of this world, but then, yeah, you compare those halves, and they're the ones who are going to have to get the try scored today. They're going to have to get the ball to the centre and to the wingers to put it over. Fell asleep last stream. Who won the cricket? The South Africans dominated them, man. South Africa absolutely slapped them. They were like 70 runs in the power play in the first 6 overs. Or 80 runs. No, they might have been, I think they were like 86 in the first 6 overs. Yeah, no, they were chasing 175 for 176, and I'm pretty certain they hit like 86 runs in the first 6 overs, man. The South Africans, they absolutely smashed them. And now there's also news that Lockie Ferguson for New Zealand, he will not feature in anymore at the tournament as he's had to go home for the birth of a child. So the Kiwis got hit rock hard in this last 24 hours. They got hit hard, and the South Africans put themselves on show. But tomorrow we've got a big game, Australia versus Sri Lanka. Australia must win that game. If they win that game, they probably go through the Super 8. But they need to just win that game. This guy's just wearing no shirt in the crowd. It's not even a hot, sunny, crazy day. Why have you got no shirt on, bro? There's a dude just sitting in the crowd with no shirt on. It's not a blistering, sunny day. I don't know why you need to have no shirt on. Hamilton weather. Oh, no, not Canada. Hamilton, New Zealand. Weather is 17 degrees. Come on, get your shirt on, bro. Get your shirt on, bro. What, it's 17 degrees and cloudy and you've got no shirt on in the crowd? Come on, man. Get a grip. Get a grip, bro. Come on, man. If it was hot and spicy and all over the shop, then sure, take your shirt off. There's no problem with that. But, bro, it's 17 degrees and cloudy. If it was a sunny day, he should wear a shirt more so to avoid skin cancer. Well, no, that's not what we're doing here, mate. No, we're not. A shirt off in the sun is fine, but not wearing a shirt on a 17 degree cloudy day is diabolical behaviour. Go the full hog, no pants or shirt. Well, you may as well at this point, mate. You may as well. Oh, there's that girl. She's a content creator. I can't think of her name. I do follow her. We follow each other. I can't actually think of her name. She was on the screen just then. She's a Warriors fan, but she was just on the screen. But we're about 5 minutes away from kickoff here. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. So what are you guys going? Are you guys all predicting the Maori to win then? Considering that apparently the Maori are favourites here, are you guys all predicting the Maori to win? Ben's gone Indigenous 16-12. I've actually said the Indigenous for mine should be favourites. I just don't get it. Jordan says who's winning. Well, the game hasn't started yet, mate. We're still waiting for them to come out. We're 5 minutes away from them coming out. But I just can't believe that the Māori are as favourites as they are. Is the Joker there? Well, no. So the Joker, and he's not based in Brisbane, is he? Hold on. I know you're talking about the Mount Smart Joker. Hold on 1 second. I think maybe he moved to Brisbane, but he's still at a heap of Warriors games or something. I could be wrong. Mount Smart Joker. Okay, here we go. I swear I saw something about him being in Brisbane. The last time he posted... Damn, the last time he posted was actually... Oh, no, 4th of January, okay. For a second there, I thought the last time he posted was when he was in Vegas. He's a good bloke, though, bro. He's a good bloke. No, he's from Otara in New Zealand. Now, we know each other, but I swear I saw something about him moving to Brisbane or something. Indigenous for the win. Yeah, I'm feeling it. Nico Hines about to lead them out. Nico Hines about to lead them out. I just want a good game here, man. Give me a good game. But you know what's rough? You know what's really tough and rough? It's Tet here in Vietnam right now, which means that the place I get my coconut coffee from, is no coconut coffee. It closed. So I'm dying right now. I'm dying with no coconut coffee. I got my Coke Zero, but I'm dying. I'm just trying to survive. I'm just trying to survive with no with no coconut coffee. Trying to survive here, you know? Just can't believe there's no coconut coffee. Oh my gosh. You know, Tet is like their New Year, right? It's like them celebrating their New Year. There's so many things that close right now. You're only going for Indigenous because of Sebastian Chris. Brenton, you know me too well, mate. You know me too well. How good Sebastian Chris, but how good damn well Sebastian Chris. But you know, the issue is that Sebastian Chris is not playing today. Sebastian Chris not here, mate. So I don't understand why you've actually said that in this game. Sebastian Chris not here, buddy. Unless I'm blind, unless the no coconut coffee is blinding me right now, I can't see Sebastian Chris because he played for the Raiders on Friday. So they're walking out onto the field. Please see the sniffy jar. I do have the sniffy jar. I do have the sniffy jar. So we're about to get. Is it called a haka for the Maori as well? Is it just the Maori haka? Maori haka. No, and because I'm in Vietnam, it's going to give me in Vietnamese. No, English. Maori haka is a powerful traditional posture dance in New Zealand involving rhythmic chanting, and then you've obviously got the Indigenous war cry as well. I will say, over the last year, Fox Sports has done really well with this shot where they get the main thing they want as the focus of the camera, and then everything behind is blurry. It does really give a great view on the broadcast. I'm surprised and a little bit disappointed this isn't a sellout. You know, there's a lot of people there, but I would have liked to have seen a few more people. I would have liked to have seen this sold out. Like, at the end of the day, this is still a big game. Read it out in Vietnamese for us. The thing is, Nath, the problem with Vietnamese is that the English letters are not the same sounds. So you will read something out and it's not even remotely close, not because of the pronunciation of like the different levels of saying it, but because the letter doesn't sound anything like the letter should sound. There's a moment of silence right now. What's this moment of silence for? So I was talking. There is a moment of silence though. Make the sounds then. I don't really know the sounds. That's the issue here, mate. It's the issue. But one language of like the words that really mess me up is Thai. Just all the squiggly lines and left and rights and swirls and all that. Thai gets me, It just confuses my brain. It just really confuses my brain. Just make it up. No. No, I'm here just trying to survive, mate, until coconut coffee arrives. Alright, first up is going to be the Indigenous War Dance. First up will be the Indigenous War Dance. Fire it up. Fire it up. Today, is this the same always, or do they change it? Pretend you're walking down Sexy Street. What are you talking about now? What's happening? What is happening? So is the walk right? This seems like it might be a little bit different to what they would normally do. They must do like different war cry every year. Like it's still a war cry, obviously, but it must be like a different war cry every year. So, and if you have a brain like a goldfish for language, it's hard to remember. Dude, I go through so many countries that I just don't really learn languages because, dude, I was learning a little bit of Hindi last year, and there's no point to that. Then I was in Thailand. There's no point to that. Then I was in Vietnam and Malaysia, and all. Malaysia basically speaks English, but it's just kind of no point when you travel as much as we do. Because I'm going to be in Philippines next month as well, and I'm not learning Filipino. It's just too much going on. Where the girls talk in that funny high-pitched voice like fingernails on a blackboard. Don't let Shauno's wife hear what we're talking about right now. But the war cry is still going on here from the Indigenous. Well, it's like they're doing like a ceremony before we get the war cry from the players. I teach you Tagalog. Well, I'll be there next month in March 24th. I'll be in Philippines. Nikhil says evening all. Bring on the footy. Yep, we just got the Indigenous war cry right now. Then we'll have the Maori haka. And then we're on to the game, and then we've got Sharks vs Eels right after this in the pre-season to round out the Rugby League weekend. Jeez, I tell you what, I feel for the Melbourne Storm but next week. I really feel for the Melbourne Storm. They're going to take on an absolute rampaging Gold Coast Titans team. I'm terrified for them. I'm terrified for them, guys. I'm just feeling for the Melbourne Storm. Like, how can you not feel sympathetic and empathetic towards the Melbourne Storm for having to go on and take on the greatest team of all time, the Gold Coast Titans? It makes me sick. It makes me sick. I really feel for the Melbourne Storm. Is Tagalog like Vietnamese Oztag? You're an idiot. Tagalog is the language of the Philippines. You are a Muppet, Nath. So now we've got the Indigenous war cry. I think that was like a welcoming ceremony kind of deal. And now we've got the war cry from the players. It's slowly coming towards them. Fire up! I want to see a big punch on the day. Not really, because it's a respectful day. Sean says, put 5 Thai together. They sound like chickens all talking at the same time. Confusing. It's too funny. I knew that was coming, Jay. I knew that was coming. Still with the Indigenous war cry. I really would love to actually just travel internally Australia one day, though, and learn more deeply about the Australian culture and Indigenous culture and whatnot. I'm doing so much where I'm learning about international, but I would love to learn a lot more. This is not anytime soon, but in the future, I definitely would like to learn more deeply about Indigenous culture in Australia. Get around your Savannah. Jay says hello. Jay's a big fan. Jay's a massive fan, Savannah. Get around him. Royce Honey's fired up. Look, his fist is closed. And there we go. Maori is the best houses. Well, I don't know what that means, Anna Rose, unfortunately. I don't know what Maori is the best houses means, but thank you for the input. Don't know what Maori is the best houses mean, unless they build the best houses. Sure they do. But Talis Duncan walks away, and now we get the Maori haka. And then we're off to the races. Drop in the comments what you think the score is going to be. I did say 26-14 to Indigenous. I thought that they had the better team here. But apparently they're the underdogs, so maybe I'm just absolutely off my mind. I streamed 5 games yesterday, so maybe I'm feeling the tired effects of yesterday. Mitchell says Royce is one sexy man. Dude, that guy is terrifying. That guy at the front, he had wide eyes. He is terrifying. This is the Māori haka now. Just poke him with a stick, make it interesting. That'd make it interesting, Brenton, if they did. Instead of just like faking the stick throw, they actually just threw the stick. Now we're talking. The spear is what we should say. Poor bloke must have streamed the Dragons game. Oh, Clyde, please, I need you to feel sorry for me, mate, because I did. I streamed all 4 games. I was here for every one of them. I had to go from watching the Knights into the Dragons, you know. Now that is a tough life. Now that is a tough life. Lucky I had Vietnamese coconut coffee. Lucky. Alright. Māori haka. They're turning it up. God, you should choose a better side. You've never given Nath that advice, Jay. You've only told Clyde that. You don't care about Nath? He's a Dragons fan. You already have one Jag. You haven't been around here for a while. I wonder if they're gonna get me on their pod. I'll do their pod. I wonder if they're gonna get me on their pod this year. There's a friend of mine who does say that he's a big fan of Oliver Pascoe. He just said, for those yet to see him play, you're about to witness the greatest 9 since Cameron Smith. Oliver Pascoe is a Titans up and coming. He's actually in this game today playing for the Indigenous off the bench. I'm a DNR, mate. That is hard yakka, and not as a Dragons fan either. I've tried to leave the Dragons all my life. I just can't do it. Mate, Clyde, I'm a Titans fan, mate. I get it. I get it. I get the feeling. You just want to leave, but you just can't leave. Gold Coast is always my team, unfortunately, but fortunately. At the very least, though, like when the Titans are struggling, you've got the beautiful beaches of Burleigh. You got the beautiful beaches of Coolangatta. You got the beautiful, beautiful beaches of the entire Gold Coast coastline. And then you've got the fun of the theme parks. You got the part you can go out and have your own piece of silence out in Mudgeeraba and out in Tallabudgera and out in the forest and the jungle of the Gold Coast. The jungle. You got everything. Could you imagine if you were a Panthers fan and you sucked? Could you imagine if you were a Panthers fan and you're as bad as the Titans? What do you do in Penrith when your team sucks compared to the Gold Coast? I'm taking our life. I'm taking it. Alright, so it's going to be still the Māori haka here. God help you if you... Even like Tigers. Could you imagine being a Tigers fan out like Western Sydney area? What do you do? What do you do with yourself? Can we get any confirmation here from Tigers fans from the chat? What do you do with yourself when your team struggles and you're in that area? Bondi is beautiful, Mitchell. Actually, Mitchell, you're the man I'm looking for right now as a Tigers fan. What do you do in your part of Sydney when your team's struggling? I'll just go to Movie World and visit the Joker and check out Harley Quinn. You guys, you are the Joker. Tigers fans still exist. There's plenty of them. I love actually Tigers fans. I think there's plenty of them. They can get really annoying at times, like really, really annoying at times. But I love their passion for the game. And I love their passion for their team. So still got the Māori haka going on right now. The game was meant to start 6 minutes ago. But it's always great to see the passion behind it from both these teams. It's like they've given the Indigenous and then the Maori both extra time on these huckers and these war cries today. Down with Martini Lesniak, he's full on into it. Royce Hunt, geez, he's got a body, eh? Like, he's got a built body, baby. That sounds really gay, but like, I'm just saying, he's got a built body. I just shouldn't have said baby at the end of it. You know what? Fair play. He's a big boy. Do you have a try score for each team? For the Maori team, I will take in the back line. Damn, I should really be smart with my words here. In the back line for the Maori team, I'm going to go with Keanu to score. I'm going to back him in. I'm going to back in Keanu. And then for the Maori team in the forwards, I will back in Britain Nakora. They're pretty obvious selections. You know what? I'm going to go with a shot of Zach Docker-Clay, actually. I'll go the 9, Zach Docker-Clay from the Roosters, and I'll go Keanu Kinney from the greatest team of all time, the Gold Coast Titans. For the Indigenous, I'm going to say that Loffy scores. I'm going to go Loff. And then for the forwards, I'm going to punch out a cheeky Tallis Duncan. Because he is such a good try scorer for the Rabbitohs. So I'll go T-Dog, Tallis Duncan, and Lofi Yana Khan Pereira. And for the Māori team, I'm taking Special K, Keanu Kinney. You know, it's funny. Last year or a couple of years back, there was potentially a nickname coming up for Keanu. And there was a third K that was involved, and we were about to call him KKK, and then we realised that's probably not a good way. That's probably not a good nickname for him. I actually told him about this too. He's like, "Yep, no, probably best we didn't do that." But we were going to give him a name. We were going to give him KKK on his shirt, and then we realised, no, we can't give him a nickname of KKK. Special K is fine. Special K is fine. Mitchell says, I don't live in Tiger territory, so I don't know. Where do you live, Mitchell? Where do you live? Don't give us your address. I don't need your address. I just want to know the general location. And don't give me the entirety of the city. Like a general location. Like if you want to say, I live right next to Bondi, then go for it. And then the question still stays. The question still remains. Or are you like an elitist Tigers fan from Bondi? Are you an elitist Tigers fan from Clavelli? Huh? I see you, mate. I see you. Should be on a Roosters wagon. even though you beat them yesterday. So we're about to get started. Again, the game was meant to start 10 minutes ago, close to Manly. So you're like Northern Beaches. Okay, so you've got the beaches. Like Manly, if they suck, they got the beautiful Manly Beach. If Cronulla sucks, they go down and they punch on in the streets, but they also go to the beach. If the Dragons suck, you've at least got Cronulla that's nearby. If you're a Cogra fan, you've got Cronulla that's nearby. Because I wouldn't be swimming in that bay. I don't think that bay is like good to swim in, is it? Is it, Dragons fans? That bay where you're in Cogra, Brighton, is it? I don't think that beach is meant to be is that good to swim in because of all oil around or something. Melbourne, you've got plenty to do if you suck. You go just become an AFL fan. You probably already are an AFL fan, to be fair. Townsville, I don't know what you do up there. You can't even go swimming in the beach. You cannot even go swimming in the damn well beach up in Townsville. What do you do if you're a Cowboys fan and the team sucks? Which might be this year. What do you do up there? Go crocodile hunting? Odds are at Pickham now, so you're saying they're even. Well, I think the Indigenous should be decent enough favourites here with the teams they've got on paper. I do. Alright, I'm going to refresh this score because then it will probably update live. By the way, those cricket streams, some of my favourite moments is actually the back and forth between Shatish and Jay. It's just too funny. Shatish is trying to learn. He's trying to learn the old Australian banter. And Jay's just finding new ways to catch him out. It's too funny. Are we going to get this game kicked off at some point? Or are we just going to sit around twiddling our thumbs? This game... this is a delayed kickoff. Why? Why are we so delayed 15 minutes on a kickoff? It's so delayed on the kickoff, and we finally get underway. Guys, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. The Indigenous will get it through Trey Fuller and Shakai Mitchell. He'll bring it out to the 5. He'll actually get to the 10, then take him back to the 5. Shakai Mitchell, is he actually signed to a club now or no? Who plays the prop for the Tweed Seagulls in the Queensland Cup? Yes, and no, he is not signed to an NRL club. Technically, Tweed is a part of the Gold Coast Titans, but he's not signed to the Titans. Third tackle here for the Indigenous, and they're going to get this ball out to the 30. City plays as two of the worst teams in the comp. Knights and Gold Coast probably have two of the best locations. You shut your dirty mouth when you're talking about the Gold Coast like that. Gold Coast might be the greatest team of all time, and you're talking worst of all time? Come on. Let's be serious, mate. Come on, let's be serious. That's going to go back for Keanu Kenny to grab at the 5. That's an amazing kick. That's actually going to go... Wow, it ended up going over the dead ball line. So it ends up being a 7 tackle set. But wow, it was a really good kick until it just went too far. A little bit too far. It cracked me up last night. Namo's licking it. So this is in quarters. There is quarters tonight, guys. So 20 minutes per quarter. We are currently in the first quarter. Would you say that Newcastle is the second best location? Oh, massive shot there. First tackle now for the Warriors. Alan Watani-Zelezniak got absolutely rocked in the tackle there. Stockton Sand Dunes, the ninth wonder of the world. No, the ninth wonder of the world is Seabolt Super Stadium, and the 10th wonder of the world is Movie World. Third tackle at the 45. Don't tell me you haven't gone to Movie World and checked out Harley Quinn. You can't tell me. It's not possible. You couldn't have gone to Movie World and not checked out Harley Quinn. Come on, be serious. Fourth tackle. Steve started off a bit with his words. I just don't know why he started having a crack at the girl gaffer who was just trying to learn about cricket. He's like, oh, I would have lost my patience by now. Settle down, bro. Fifth tackle at the 30. He was off his rocker. That'll be kicked up from Tamati Martin, and that will go out on the full, I would say. No, it stays in bounds. Oh, that's such a lucky kick, and Trey Fuller's going to be taken back on the in goal. That is so unlucky from the Indigenous, because it looked like an awful kick that's turned into a miracle. It was an awful kick that turned into a miracle. The wind is what brought that back in. Yeah, wow, there must be some strong wind that carried that in. It'll be in fine form later tonight, no doubt. Yep, India-Pakistan, I'm sure. We need a BKR app so we can listen and walk around and stuff. Well, I think if you've got YouTube Premium, then you are able to do that. I'm pretty certain. So first tackle for the Māori team, and they're 25 metres out, now 20 metres away. And will the Harley Quinn ride open? Sign me up, mate. Sign me up, absolutely. James Fisher-Harris, he'll give it to Blake Steep. And he'll be... Oh, not Blake Steep, Trey Mooney, sorry. Trey Mooney, my bad. James Fisher-Harris out to Nickel Klukstad. Terramati Martin, taken down to the 10. Is it just this game played in quarters, or has the NRL changed its rules, mate? You have no... Oh, the Maori team will score! Oh boy, the Maori side will score. That is massive, son. Nice try there, and Jacob Laban right on over. Beautiful, baby, beautiful. Try time for the Maori. Jacob Laban is over, and it's 4-0 with a kick to come. Daniel, the blow-up that you would see if you told the NRL fans that we were going to play all games in quarters would be so gigantic that forget Israel-Palestine, forget Russia-Ukraine, start thinking about NRL versus the NRL community, because it would be World War III. It would be World War III. This is just a one-game thing. There is no way that the NRL would be able to survive the pushback from the NRL fans. There is no way the NRL survived the pushback from the NRL fans if you tried to make rugby league games quarters. This game. No spoiler, please. We listen to Blaze. Yeah, just wait until you hear me commentate before you drop the things in the chat. That's a jar mess up. Please just wait until you hear me commentate it, because some people are using me as a commentary. They can't actually watch the game. All right. So 15 minutes to go here of the first half. And the Maori team is surprising me right now with that start. It did come off the back of that really lucky kick that bounced perfectly, but Moani Hiroti, he looks really different. He looks like an accountant right now with that hairstyle. He looks like he's a professional accountant. Tax time. Maybe he is the taxman. Maybe he is... Oh, we've just come around on a story. Maybe he is Zach Lomax's taxman. Maybe that's what's happened. 15 minutes of the first half or quarter. There is 20-minute quarters here. So we still get 80 minutes, but it's just separated amongst 20-minute quarters. I can't remember if it's you switch sides every quarter or you just switch sides every half still. If we changed it to quarters in rugby league, people would lose their minds. Or have the game split into 10-minute eighths. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I'd probably throw myself off a balcony, but, you know, that'd be still pretty cool. And Matt Oz Sport TV says maybe he is actually just Zach Lomax himself. Maybe that's the way he's gotten back into the league. But then the issue is Moani Hiroti is signed with the Titans next year, and Lomax hates my club. He hates the Gold Coast Titans. Hiroti looking like Josh from Drake and Josh. Yeah, I don't know what his hairstyle's doing, bro. Britton Nakora will bring his ball to the 38 on 4 tackle. Plenty of traffic, and he gets slapped down. Zach Docker-Clay off to Fisher-Harris. Hey, let's have a better year for Fisher-Harris. I'd love to hear Warriors fans' thoughts here, but I feel like Fisher-Harris wasn't exactly spectacular last year. Defensively, he showed out, but he dropped a lot of ball and also gave up a lot of mistakes. And I'm telling you, the kicking game from the Māori team today is awful. That's another bad kick that's going to go over the sideline. He's going to challenge this. Tamati Martin is actually adamant that it's going to get challenged. Either way, the first 2 kicks have been really weird. Adam G is going to be refereeing today. Captain's challenge. You must be super confident to risk this challenge, though. It has to be touched. And maybe off his head? It probably has hit his head. Is that considered played at? But is that considered played at if it's coming off his head there? Yeah, but has he played it? Can you confirm he played it that off of the head? I think this will be Māori ball because he is going towards the player, but I think they're going to go inconclusive here. Oh, it is Māori ball. Okay, that was really weird. So you guys say it's touch. So he was coming at it and he kind of threw his hands up. He wasn't even really trying to charge that down, but it is technically classed as a touch ball play. That so they get the ball back here, the Māori. Either way, though, it just breezed off the top of his head, so it was an awful kick anyway. He's just gotten really lucky. It's not like it took a major deflection. Feel like Hoare doing well till they lost Barnett. Oh, good run there from Royce Hunt. He'll get this ball to the 20 on second tackle. And now Fisher Harris. And Fisher Harris, he's going to get the ball at the 15. Tamati Martin. Tamati Martin still going. And accountant Moeni Hiroti will be taken down 4 metres out. The Warriors were doing well until Luke Metcalf and Barnett went down, but ultimately their attack was always going to suffer. That's a penalty here to the Māori. That's a penalty. Don't take the 2. Come on. Go with the try. Pass to Bunty and he will score. Yeah, Bunty's not playing. Bunty's not here, champion. The old Bunty. He not here. Actually, they updated the 18? Oh, it's Manea Fateri, who was the 18th. They didn't update it before. Oh, jeez, that's a bit of a mess there from the Māori team, but they still get the ball at the 11, second tackle. Atmosphere at this game is weird. Like, they get loud when there's an opportunity, but overall it's really quiet outside of that. Sorry about that. Just realised that the stream was like a minute behind. My apologies. Oh, no, you're all good, bro. You're all good. And the Indigenous pick it up. Huge pick up there from Tallis Duncan. He'll bring the ball out to the 20. First tackle. Yeah, always, guys, when you come to the stream, just make sure you click on live on the stream so you know how far behind. So you know you're right there and not too far behind is what I should say. Now, Indigenous will get this ball to the 30 on the second tackle. Fish a cat. You're a cat, Logan. Great run by Trey Fuller. Real hard run, but he gets tackled at the 40. And I would argue that should have been 6 again. He was held back again. Nico Hines. And Caden Lars from the Cowboys. I was going to say, who is this? But it's Caden Lars from the Cowboys at the 50. 4 tackle. He's playing the first. Oh, Tom Leroy Lars. Oh, they must be related. 6 again here. 6 again for the Indigenous. Is Caden Lars and Tom Leroy Lars related? After watching his father, Tom Leroy Lars... Oh, it's Tom Leroy Lars' dad. Oh, okay. So if you guys remember, Tom Leroy Lars from the Canberra Raiders, Caden Lars, who's playing in this game right now, was his father. How's the 2026 Dally M winner, Keanu Kenny, going? Mate, he's going pretty well because he's about to win the Dally M! But Blake Steep! Boom, 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 boom! Try time for the Indigenous. Try time for the Indigenous right underneath the post, and Blake Steep goes under with a great offload there. I think, was it Trey Fuller with the offload? That is a nice try there for the Indigenous. 10 minutes gone to the first half. 10 minutes to go. 10 minutes to go of the first quarter. Oh my gosh, my brain doesn't work because we're playing in quarters. Halfway through the first quarter, guys, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. Gee whiz. No, that was... Who was that with the offload there? I'm not too sure who that was with the offload. Who was with the offload? It was a great offload. Get around to attack Mitt. Yeah, he doesn't have an NRL contract right now, but he's playing with the Tweeted Seagulls. Guys, please don't ruin it. I'm not near a TV, thanks. Well, try. Try time for you, Scotty. Don't worry. 6-4. To Māori's, but a kick to come from right in front. Blake Steep from the Sydney Roosters. He'll get over the try. He'll get over for the try, and he will go bang. Nico Hines. From right in front. That's where Shaq signed to the Super League. Well, he's currently contracted at Tweed. I could be wrong, though. He gets the kick. Shakai Mitchell. So 10 minutes to go the first quarter. Mitchell set for club switch in talks with multiple teams. This was at the end of last year, though. He's obviously not at the Rabbitohs, but at the end of last year, there was an article that came out about Shakai. One of the 9 players farewell by the South Sydney Rabbitohs at the end of the 2025 campaign. Shakai Mitchell is currently in talks with at least 2 other clubs as he prepares to finalise his future in the coming weeks. Shakai spent the last 4 seasons with Rabbitohs, blah, blah. First reported by the Rabbitohs radio podcast. Hero Tackle has confirmed with sources that Mitchell is now set to make the move to the Super League for 2026 and is currently in talks with at least 2 teams. I think that may have fallen through because Google has it as... Google currently has him at Tweed. That's a good run there. Caden Lars. He'll bring that ball to the 20, now to the 30 through Blake Steep. It doesn't... So, Zero Tackle basically gave us absolutely nothing in this article. It didn't tell us anything. Lars a bloody beast, yeah. Just like his dad. His dad was good for the Raiders. Especially on fantasy. I'd love to be a Tommy Leary or Lars in my team at one point. Does that mean Shaq might slip into the Titans? No, he's not contracted to the Gold Coast, mate. He's at Tweed, but he's not contracted to the Gold Coast. Just because you play for a feeder club doesn't actually mean that you... It means that you basically get the first pick and the best viewing of a player, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're contracted to a club. And Dallin Martinez Lesnat will pick it up at the 10. No, it's a penalty to the Indigenous. There's going to be an escort. It's going to be a Thailand escort. Mwani Hiroti... No, Britton Nakora is the one who gets done for the escort. And the Indigenous... Well, you have a chance at a 2 if you want it. Don't take it, though. But there is a try on offer 15 metres out. Dad was a monster. Yeah, his dad was a monster. It's definitely... No, it was Mwani Hiroti who got done for the escort. I was right. All right, Caden Lars. So I wonder why his dad's name is Tom Leroy Lars, but his name is just... It's just Lars, Caden Lars. Wonder why there's no Leroy. Leroy Jenkins, second tackle. Out to Nico Hines, and Nico Hines is going to scoot around 10 metres away. He pushes away again, and he'll be taken down 15 metres out from the line. Lagan says, feeling a try from Warriors legend Loffy. That is a disgraceful comment from you, and we're going to put you in a 1-minute warning shot timeout for calling him a Warriors legend. We'll see you in 1 minute, mate. That's a warning shot. 4th tackle. And it gets to Nico Hines. Out to the wing. Loffy slips over at the 5. 5th tackle. Let's blame that on Lagan. Chris Matthews says Tom took mum and dad's surname. Okay, fair enough. Knock on from the Indigenous. Knock on. Nico Hines was trying to get a short ball into the line for Josh Paxton. But the knock on will happen. The pass just wasn't really on there. They couldn't really do it. But took mum and dad's surname. Fair enough. Fair enough. Be adventurous and take the 2. That sounds like a very Nate J way of thinking, Mitchell. Very Nate J, St. George Illawarra Dragons way of thinking. Yeah, no, you can't really blame Josh Paston for that, Nate. You got to blame Hines for that pass. It was straight into the line. There was just nothing on there. He should have gone out the back and tried to get it to Braden Trindle or wherever he may be, or even Trey Fuller, but that wasn't the option to go short into the line there. 3rd tackle for the Māoris. At the 28, and it's a knock on. Oh boy, it's a knock on in the play the ball from Zach Docker Clay. And that's kind of the first real unforced error of this game. Knock on at the play the ball. Where's he lost this here? Not Zach Docker Clay, it's Mwani Hiroti, Mr. Accountant himself. Paul says Nico Hines is an overrated player. I think that he's not as good as being a Dally M halfback, but I think that he is not an overrated player. I think he's a really good player who gets overhated, but I don't think he's as good as what the Sharks believe he is in the position that he's in. I think that he could be one of the best 6s in the game. If not the best 6, but one of the best 6s in the game. I think he could be top 2, top 3. But they just refuse to change it. And I think if the Sharks don't win the comp this year, if they don't progress past the preliminary final this year, surely it's time to make the decision on Braden Trindle and Nico Hines in the halves. I would move Nico into the 6, and I would figure out what you're going to do in the 7. Because it's obviously gone past the point where you could have Trindle 7 and Nico Hines 6, because they're just going to play the same way. So I feel like this is the last year for the Sharks that should be going with Nico Hines and Braden Trindle if they don't win the comp. And I don't think they do, but Trindle gets the ball offloaded, and try time! Kyle Watson! Connor Watson with the try time of the Indigenous right under the post, and it's 10-6 with a kick to come. 10-6 with the kicks to come, and the Sharkies halves get done as we're talking about them. Lagan says Nico Hines shouldn't even really be here. Why? Why should Nico Hines not even really be here? But this is nice work. Braden Trindle into the line. He steps and then gets the ball offloaded inside to Connor Watson. And Connor Watson goes bing, bang, boom, baby. Goes bing, bang, boom at the try time under the post. 5 minutes left of the first quarter. Keep going, say half. Indigenous off to a good start. Off to a great start here. This one's looking like it's going to have a lot of points in it. I think last year had some good points as well. Where is it? Harvey Norman All Stars. 2025. Wait, what? 2025 was 10-6. No, we're thinking 2024 had a lot of points in it. And 2020, also 2023 had a lot of points in it. Last year was just 10-6 in the Maoris. Looked like Watson was flagging down a taxi with that celebration. Mitchell says Jack Bird is looking for a contract, one of the greatest halfbacks of all time. I don't know about that, mate. I reckon you guys can sign him, though. You've already got Adam Dewey there, so maybe partner him up. Maybe partner him up with Jerome Luai. What a partnership, what a halves pairing. Jack Bird, Jerome Luai. Now, that's something that I'd be scared of. And Jack Bird already knows the Tigers system in and out. Keep him in there. Who thought it was a good idea to have both Jamal Fogarty and JC on the bench? I don't understand that either. It's a really good bench, but I don't understand the bench either. Jamal and JC both being there just kind of defeats a lot of the purpose there, really. Second tackle. Oh, that's pass horizontal. Yep, penalty. Penalty. Britton Nakora gets done. And the Indigenous have got the momentum massively in the end of this first quarter. Dangerous tackle is what it's called. Jack Bird actually used to be such a dangerous player for the Sharkies, man. Like in 2016, he was one of their centres. He was so good. Him and Val Holmes, were they the partners? I think they were, weren't they? Jack Bird and Val Holmes, and then the other side was Ricky Latelli and Sasaya Feki. Was it Sasaya Feki and Ricky Latelli and then Jack Bird and Val Holmes? Out to the right, third tackle. Trey Fuller, he's going to push through to the 15, to the 10. Fourth tackle, 10 metres away from the line. Nico Hines gives it away. Here's a chance. They're going to score again. They're going to score again. Josh Adokar will score. Try time of the Indigenous. And it's 16-6 with a kick to come. And Josh Adokar gets over the line. Bird played 6 that season, and he was very good. Bird played 6? No, that'd be... No, James Maloney played 6. 2016? No way. James Maloney was the 6. Fullback Ben Barber. 6 was James Maloney. 7 was Chad Townsend. And 9 was Mick Ennis. Who wins out of a Kenny JC foot race in this game? No. No. It's a tough race, actually. It's a tough race. I'd say Kiana. But the Fox will score. Oh, Bulldogs legend, Josh Adokar Lagan. Oh, yes. Yes, no, that's how Bulldogs fans have been talking about him the last couple of years. Yeah, now it's real funny how we've come around on that, haven't we? Look at both teams' lists. There's only 4 genuine props on the team, which are the starters. No props on either team's bench or reserves. Yep, but I said that I had no idea why the Māoris were favourites. Look at the halves in comparison. Oh, there's a problem here for the Indigenous. There is a problem. Adam G's got to the bunker. Possible obstruction. Look at Tallis Duncan here, apparently. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. Oh, he makes contact with Britton Nakora, though. It's a flop, but and Adokar would have scored regardless, so no common sense will be used. But with that being said, it does run into him. But that try was going to be scored anyway. I would have liked a bit of common sense there. There's no common sense being applied there whatsoever. Like, he scores that, he's nowhere even close. Adokar's fuming. Like, technically speaking, he does run into him, but it's also a flop from Britain Nakora, and it's also that he's nowhere close to where the try is scored. I just feel like the NRL needs to apply common sense there. Nikhil says, yeah, you're right. Why am I remembering Bird playing 6 of the Sharkies in one season? Nah, Bird of the Sharks was centre, bro. He was a primetime centre there. I'll go back to the grand final in 2016, and the team list had Jack Bird and Sasai. Sorry, I got it wrong, but I got the right players. Jack Bird centre, Sasai Feki on the wing, Ricky Latelli centre, and Valentine Holmes on the wing. No, Jack Bird back then, he was incredible in the centres, man. Dylan Martinez Lesniak at the 35. Tigers fan says, we're already ruling things differently from yesterday when Casey Badger was using common sense. We're in trouble. Yeah, we are already using different terminology and different thought process to what we saw yesterday. You're right. You are right. Mate, it's just common sense, though. Like, he's literally about 20 metres away from where the try is scored. Like, how are you going to claim he's going to make a play there? So you're telling me if there's, like, technically a player who runs into the player 80 metres away on the other side of the field, but you end up scoring, and it's literally 80 metres away from where the try is scored, had no impact on the play whatsoever. It's just happened off the ball completely. You're going to take away the try? Come on. Come on, man. If it happened in Timbuktu, they'd still call it. Jack Bird played a bit of 6, I feel, at the Broncos briefly. And maybe at the Tigers, I think he played some 6 in a kill. But I don't think he was a 6 really ever at the Sharkies. Oh, big hit at the 45. There's 47 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And Blake Steep brings his ball to the 40. Go for a field goal, you Cats. Go for a field goal, you Cats. And Braden Trindle puts it up in the air. That Sharks team was stacked throughout the whole team. Dude, it's ridiculous. I'll read through it. Hold on. 30 seconds left here. I'll read through it. Fullback Ben Barber, wingers Sasai Feki and Valentine Holmes, centres of Jack Bird and Ricky Latelli, 5'8" James Maloney, halfback Chad Townsend when he was really good, Andrew Fafita and Matt Pryor as the front rowers, Michael Ennis 9, Luke Lewis and Wade Graham, that's ridiculous, and then Paul Gallen 13. You got Jared Beale, Chris Hyington, Sam Tagatese and Jason Bakuya. And there'll be a knock on there for the Maori team. That's such a fantastic team, dude. It really is. And they're well and truly deserving of getting it. But it took a monumental effort from Andrew Fafita to score that try. And Dragons too. That's right, Nate. He probably would have played a bit of 5'8" there, wouldn't he? That probably would have been where he played most of his 5'8" work, or maybe the Tigers. But either way, it's quarter time here, guys. At 12:06. I'm actually going to run to the bathroom here at quarter time. It's great that there's a quarter time rather than just the half time at the moment. I'm going to run to the bathroom. Hit that like button. Subscribe for new around here. 12:06 to the Indigenous. I'll be back in just a moment. We're back. Keanu wins the foot race. Yeah, I went with Keanu, Scott. I did. I went with Keanu to do it, but I think it's tighter than you think because JC has the gazelle about him in regards to his running compared to Keanu, who's obviously a smaller frame. But I do think Keanu probably wins the race. Yeah, 40 minutes behind. It is still quarter time here, guys. 12-6 is currently the score to the Indigenous. Try taken away. The two tries scored for the Indigenous were Connor Watson and Blake Steep. Connor Watson and Blake Steep. For the Māoris, it was Jacob Laban from the Warriors. Blake Steep is a Roosters product. Connor Watson also Roosters, and Jacob Laban is Warriors. Get that Coke Zero in you, mate. I got it plenty in them. I got it plenty. But okay, second quarter, about to get underway. Oh, this is the Arthur Beetson Trophy. Okay, fair enough. Why is quarter time this long, though? I don't know why they're making quarter time... Like, quarter time is annoying as it is, but quarter time like this being this long is just ridiculous right now. It should be just like a drinks break in cricket, but they're about to kick it off now. How about the NRL return to Henson Park, first time in 30 years? Yeah, we'll be live with that one right after this with the Sharkies versus the Eels. But that's great stuff to see in the final game of the round. And that's what I was saying yesterday, first tackle in for the Indigenous at the 15 with Addo Carr. So I was saying yesterday that we had someone who came in and said like they would like to see more of the pre-season in these rural grounds and these grounds that aren't really used because there's no point having it at the big stadiums like your Suncorps and your Allianzes and your Combanks and your Seabus and all that kind of stuff. So it's good. And I said they basically are. You know, the only bigger stadium that they've had any pre-season game in is probably McDonald's Jones Stadium. Outside of that, we've seen plenty of rural grounds, and it continues next week too. Well, Henson Park isn't rural. Not the point. What? Oh my gosh, Slagan. Please read the room. Please read the context of the conversation. We're talking about smaller grounds, or just in general smaller grounds. I understand the difference in the word rural, but you know what we're talking about, you muppet. Nikhil says they're playing in Hamilton. They have gone rural. I get it. I'm just saying. We didn't need to just say it, though, Lagan, did you? Because everyone gets what we're saying. So you didn't actually need to say that because I'm not saying that KO Stadium is rural, but they don't actually use it that much, their KO Stadium. But it's just kind of what it's kind of just what we say when it's not one of the big stadiums of your Amy, your Accor, your Allianz, your Seabus, your Combank, your main stadiums, Suncorp and Mount Smart and whatnot. Like this game being a Waikato. Waikato is not a usual stadium. So not a usual stadium is what we should say. Jay should have hidden you, Lagan. Yeah, Ibrahim, you're right. Jay should have hidden him. He should have hidden him a couple of years back. There's some idiot here who probably doesn't get it. Yeah, you, for coming out and saying that Henson Park isn't rural. You are the idiot here. You are the man you're talking about. May as well be playing at Kenilworth Road. Yeah, we're not playing in England here, Jacko. Not playing in England. This game is in New Zealand, but fit tackle for the Māoris. And Tamati Martin, he'll kick this ball down the guts to the 15. It'll be Josh Addo Carr. That might be an escort. No escort there. And Trey Fodder will bring it to the 12. And no, Lagan, you are the man you're talking about here. Every single person here understood that we weren't talking about Mount Isa being used. I know the word rural does mean that, but it's just like in rugby league, we just say the rural grounds are the ones that aren't the big-time stadiums. So like your Bathurst, I guess Henson isn't, but there you go, they're away. No, taking out the 50. I hate you for having to bring this up, man, and to clarify this. You're a clown. So Addo fit tackle at the 45. Oh, 6 again for the Indigenous. Oh, that's brutal. On fit tackle, they give away the 6 again. They're 45 metres out. First tackle. Just as they were about to get the ball back. I still can't believe the Māoris were favourites for this. Accidental rage bait. Yeah, you got me. It definitely was an accidental rage bait. Jacko, Mate, why is there quarters? Look, it's a great question. This is the only game where you'll see quarters, dude. This is the only game you'll see it because the NRL community would burn the NRL headquarters down if they tried to make quarters. It's very silly. It's very silly, but at the end of the day, this is just a one-time, All Stars pre-season event. So this is Maori versus Indigenous. Maori is the traditional culture, the historical culture of New Zealand, and the Indigenous are obviously the historical and Indigenous culture of Australia, the first people of Australia and the first people of New Zealand, and the best players that they can get from both those two cultures. Addo will be taken down to the 15, so it's just a bit of an exhibition match per se that people get around to back in their culture. Nicho Hynes at the 10 gets it off to Trindle. Trindle, that's going to be played at. Oh, but they will get the ball. Chance Newell clocks out of the 8. It's always the same person. There is a very, we are noticing a pattern here. We've noticed this pattern for a very long time, Mitchell. Giovanni says, all AFL did Origin, so NRL said, have this, we're going to take quarters from you. Exactly. Didn't even think about that. Great pass from Connor Kenny, and then not a good pass from Jesse Arthurs. It's going to be a knock-on from the Māori team. Oh no, Warriors fans. Tamati Martin is limping off the field. He has to be carried off the field here. Tamati Martin, oh no, he's just limping heavily, but Tamati Martin is injured as we speak. He's come in, and Addo has just hit into his, his ankle. Yeah, his right ankle has come in contact with Britain Nakora and his knee. The knee has gone directly into the ankle bone of Tamari Martin, and he may not come back here today. And Warriors fans, your hearts are in your mouth. God bless him. 14 and a half minutes to go here of the first half, but the second quarter. And Shakai Mitchell brings it to the 20 on second tackle. Holy shit, Talakai shaved off his beard. He looks freaky now. Yeah, I did see that when I was looking at when I was doing the Sharks thumbnail for today. I did see he shaved it off. Yeah, no, knee directly into the bone, the side bone of your ankle. Fourth tackle. Short ball to the line. Indigenous 5 metres out. Can they do it? Trey Fuller, Braden Trindle, good ball across. Blake Steep, but he's not going to be able to get that ball away, and he's been smashed. Absolutely smashed there by Jacob Laban, but it's a high tackle against the Maori, and the Indigenous, they have an option of a 2 from right in front. They could take the penalty, or they just go for the try. Might just be me, but Ramian looks leaner. Well, I haven't even looked at this specifically, but I'll have a look now. I'll try and focus on it. I did say that before Royce Hunt had a big built body, baby, and I regretted that because it sounded a little bit gay, but he's looking like a big bopper for the Tigers. And now you're saying Jesse Ramian's looking lean, so let's have a look at how he's going. Shakai Mitchell is 1 metre out from the line. Connor Watson, he'll get the offload away. Nicho Hynes can't pick it up. It's going to come to Trey Fuller, then Tallis Duncan, and Tallis Duncan is 10 metres away from the line. Connor Watson, will he go short side? No, he usually does love a short side play there. He's usually, oh no, that's an awful knock on there. That is awful knock on from the Indigenous team. And the Maori team are at the 10. They have done well to be only down by 6. Realistically, that's a weird thing to say about Royce. Yeah, but he does have a big built body. He does. Like, he's built. You're the one thinking of it like that, you sicko. You're just a sicko. He does have a big built body. Look at him. He's a bopper, son. He's a bopper. He's put a lot of work into his body. And he's looking like an absolute machine going into 2026. You're the one thinking weird. Maoris, that's going to be knocked down by the Indigenous. And again, knocked down by the Indigenous. And now Keanu Kenny picks it up. That's a high tackle. Yep, thank you. Don't you hit my boy high like that ever again, you dog. Don't you ever come in contact with his head again. But the Māoris, they might be able to get back into the game now. Good run there from Keanu, and that's way high. Just ask him out at this point. Yeah, you're a sicko. We get it. It's like when Ariel Helwani licked his lips when he went, at, what was his name again? He gets trolled to oblivion on Twitch nowadays. Oh, I can't think of his name. Who's the big content creator on Twitch now that gets trolled all the time? And at one time he lifted up his shirt. Rampage Jackson, that's the one lagging. And Rampage Jackson, he was in an interview with Ariel Hawani, he lifted up his shirt to show his six-pack. And Ariel Hawani was just obviously, as an interviewer, licking his lips to, salivate again, so it's easier to talk. But he licked at his lips and went, at the at the wrong time as he lifted his shirt. And Rampage ended the interview very quickly. 4th tackle now to 15. Short ball to the line. Fisher Harris then gets the ball offloaded. And great tackle by Blake Steep. They could have gone short side there. It's fit tackle. Fisher Harris gives it up. Brett Nakora. And Nakora kicks his ball across. And that's a try for the Warriors man. Dalamontaine Lesnak and a Maori team. 12-10 with the kick to come. 12-10 with a kick to come. Oh, no, I know that the Rampage thing was all just for extra collecting money. No, I'm very well aware of that, man. But Dalamontaine Lesnak will get the try. 10 minutes to go here of the first half. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new around here. Dalamontaine Lesnak gets a good little thinking here from Britt Nakora, who just puts a grubber in. And when you've got that grubber and you're forcing your winger to come inwards to the grubber, you've already got the defense going out to protect the wing. He's going to be on the line that is going to score regardless, and that's exactly what happened with Martin Lesnak. Trindle goes past him, and Jack White in high tackle. You could argue this should be a penalty try. Like, you should argue, based off of what the ruling actually is, he scored the try, and that is a high tackle and should be a penalty. I'm just saying that there's no such thing as an 8-point try anymore, because that technically was an 8-point try 15 years ago. We never see 8-point tries anymore. I don't even know what constitutes an 8-point penalty try anymore. I don't. Can somebody tell me in clear words what an 8-point try is now? How do you get an 8-point try? Because we never see it. Adam Pompey here, kicking from the sideline. NRL won't call it when they can't even let an intercept play out anymore. Yeah, that was pretty dog shit yesterday. They will miss the kick. But with that being said, you can't really complain too heavily because Dom Young also, that was just the worst call of the game yesterday by far. The worst call of the game was calling a no try because a player who was offside was impacted by an obstruction. A Bulldogs player who was offside and they gave the penalty to the Knights. A Bulldogs player is offside, is then impacted with an obstruction, and then the try is not scored. It's not allowed to be scored. It's a no try. Because of that, he does score, but because of the offside player being impacted, then apparently it's a no try. It's the dumbest shit ever. It's the dumbest shit ever. So 12-10 to the Indigenous with 9 minutes to go of the game. Moa Hunters is putting question marks. What do you mean? I can't remember the last time we saw an 8-point try. I couldn't tell you. I think the last 8-point try we actually saw them miss the conversion. Miss the kick from the side. I think they actually only got 6 points from it too. Because obviously you get the 2 from in front, but you get the other 2 from where you scored the try. So 4th tackle here for the Māoris, and now they're going to be at the 45 on fit tackle. 8.5 minutes to go here of the second quarter. Oh no, that's awful from Jack Whiten. It's a bad kick from the Māoris, and it's going to end up being a Jack Whiten knock on. You are kidding. Last 8-point try was South vs Cowboys 2024. Yeah, but did they actually get the 8 points? Or did they miss the first conversion before getting the second penalty, the actual penalty? They missed the conversion but got the penalty. Oh, we'll be live for Pakistan later, mate. Don't you worry. We'll be live. I want you to teach Shatij a lesson. You get into Shatij, mate. Get into him. Make him rage. A Shatij rage later on tonight would be gold, mate. That'd be gold. That'd be incredible scenes. All right, so it's gonna be Māori ball at the 25. Dogs should be stripped of a premiership this year if they win because of that Dom Young call. Exactly right. Dom Young being taken away that try is brutal, but then again, also you should hate Dom Young because he scored a try for the Roosters that was debatable as well. Maori team, they're taken down. 4th tackle at the 20. Must be a professional foul to have an 8-point try. Yeah, but we see professional fouls and still the try. They have to score. Basically, give me 1 second here. Fit tackle here, 10 metres out from the line. They'll kick that ball through. It's way too hard. Hits the post. It's going to be a dropout. Wow. Wow. So it is going to be a dropout here from the Indigenous to the Maori with 7 minutes to go of the second quarter. So it is a dropout. But no, so a penalty try is if you don't score and receive a penalty in the act of scoring, it's a penalty try, but it's only the 6 points. It's just given as a try. But if you actually put the ball down and do score whilst in the act of a penalty is happening, then that's when you get the try, the conversion, and the penalty. But we just don't see the NRL go down that path. The last time was 2024, as Logan just said. I don't even know if they got the conversion. But we just don't see the NRL make that. They don't make that distinction anymore. It's like they don't want the 8-point even involved in the game whatsoever. Yeah, give another motorcycle out, exactly. The Māori team, 4 tackle. They're going to be 20 metres away from the line. 4 tackles, 6 minutes to go here of the game, of the first half. Down by 2. At least got a good game here. Fisher Harris, fit tackle. He'll be 10 metres away. And last play, they just run it straight into the line. And, oh my gosh, they're actually going to end up getting a try from that. That is horrific. That is horrific play. If they're going to check this, that is horrific play from the Māoris. But they're going to score through Jesse Arthurs. Adam G's going to say no try, though. When the ball is passed backwards, see if there's a knock-on on the ground. That is horrific stuff. Like, that's just ridiculous that this has nearly ended up as a try. If it has ended up as a try, wow. Possession is maintained to the tackle. He's got the ball away there. That's fine. We're not looking at that. We're not looking for the tackle. That's fine. It's the next part. Okay, you don't have to rewind it. Just play it through here. Where the ball is and what happens next. This one might show it. He's controlled that the whole way. Oh, it's going to be the pickup here. Well, the ball goes backwards. You just got to look at the pickup. Oh, he might have bubbled that there, actually. He might have hit the ground as it's come out to him. Oh, yeah, it touches him. It's a knock-on. Yeah, it's Trent Tawalao, unfortunately, will knock that ball on. It would have been a wild try. That would have been horrific, but working out. But unfortunately for the Māoris, that won't come through. So it's going to be a no try with 5.5 minutes to go here of the second quarter. So many rule changes, they can't keep track of the existing rules. That's facts. That is facts. All right, so the Indigenous coming off their own live, 5 minutes away. 5.5 minutes left here. And Trey Mooney. Absolute crack of a shot there. But Indigenous, they're trying to get off their own line, and the Māoris are just keeping them down here at the moment. They just cannot seem to get out of their own 20. Third tackle at the 15. And then Trey Fuller is going to break away to the 33. Amazing run from Trey Fuller. How does he not have a club, eh? Fifth tackle at the 45. Like, how does he not have a first grade just starting gig somewhere? I obviously understand how they don't get a Counter Kenny, the greatest fullback in the game. He will bring this ball out to the 15 on first tackle. I just don't understand how nobody needs a guy like nobody needs a guy like Trey Fuller. It's such a big signing for a club. It's very logical what Shauno said. YouTube loves to hide Shauno's comments, eh? Loves to hide it. Logan, if you have the right bait, his name will just be K when he loses. Yeah, good hit there. And that is going to be a mistake for the Māoris. Watini Lesniak not happy, and Tohi, he doesn't know where he is. And there's a little bit of a biffo here, a little bit of a slap tickle. A little bit of a slap and a tickle. So as Watini Lesniak is running, you've got Tohi. Oh, it's a head clash. Yeah, it's a head clash there. Wowee. Just realised the YouTube watermark is still from the old branding. Oh, okay. I'll change that later then. I'll change that later. All right. So 4 minutes left here of the second quarter. And it'll be fit tackle for the Māoris at the 45. Yeah, damn, we went through a whole year with that. With that, no one noticed. Oh, good catch. Great catch from the Māoris. It's still fit tackle, still last. And Britton Okora, he's going to make another kick, and that kick's going to end up being good. Britton Okora's kicking game today has actually been really solid. Trey Fuller will get out of the in goal. He won't. Britton Okora has actually been kicking the ball nicely. He got a good try assist before for Dalmatini-Selesniak, and he's kicked the ball there, which they were kicking from the 40, landed at the 30. They caught it. They passed it around, got it to Okora, and then Okora with a dink into the in goal, and it's going to be a dropout. Give him the number 7. Maybe Britton Okora should be the halfback of the Sharkies. Maybe you can't fit in over Billy Burns in the back row, but he can fit in as the halfback for Cronulla. So Māori at the 45. And now's their chance to get back into the lead. They led 6-0 at one stage, and then it came 12-6 to the Indigenous. Oh, and Adam G's going to tell him to go back on the mark. Oh, come on, man. Give us a break. Second tackle, 35 metres away. Okay, the Māoris, just right before half-time, they've had to work hard defensively today, the Māoris. And they're 35 metres away on third tackle. And short ball into the line and absolutely crunch. Number 11. Who is that? Oh, Talis Duncan. 2.5 to go. Fit tackle, 10 metres away. If they get a penalty, they will actually legitimately go for the 2. 100% they would. They go short side play. Chance Newell clocks up. Keanu Kenny. Go Keanu! Go Keanu! Gets the offload away. Fisher Harris off to... Whoa! That's a go out of... Wow, that was a good kick from Toalau that nearly ended up being a try. It's going to end up being a 7-tackle set here for the Indigenous, but I couldn't even speak there because it was a really good kick and there were so many players around, but Addo Carr just couldn't get there, neither could the two Māori boys, and it's going to, luckily enough for the Indigenous, just bounce over the dead ball line for a 7-tackle set for them. That was very, very risky and very scary if you are an Indigenous fan. First tackle at 33. I was actually at the very first Indigenous versus NRL All Stars game back in, I think it was 2010. It was at Seabus or Skill Park at the time. That's a high tackle. So the Indigenous will get the last chance to attack in this game, and it's Jaden Campbell. Get around him. Jaden Campbell. Oh, what a spicy player, mate. What a spicy player. What a spicy man is Jaden Campbell. Just elusive. You can't stop him, mate. So first tackle for the Indigenous. They are 23 metres away here from the line. 23 metres away, first tackle. Blake Steep to the 18. Kick a field goal. Go for the 8-point try. Happens a lot. We may as well see it happen now. I go Nico Hines. Nico Hines steps 15 metres away, 10 metres away. Third tackle. Now to Blake Steep. Steep then gets it away. They're looking for something, looking for a hole. They can't find anything. 9 metres away from the line. Fourth tackle, 45 seconds left. That's arguably a 6 again. That's Pascoe from the Titans who had the ball just then. And now the Indigenous are 4 metres away from the line. And they will call it as a knock-on. A knock-on here from the Indigenous. Brent Wolfe. And the Māoris will survive that challenge, and it should be a half-time score here of 12-10. Half-time score coming up of 12-10, which is a close damn well game. It's a close game. Well, it's close, it's exciting. You know, we've seen plenty good action here. Plenty of good action. But that is going to end the first half, guys. So I'm going to have a bit of a stretch here, actually. The stats we'll get into in a moment. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, keep using the chat, keep talking in the chat. I'm going to be back in about 5 minutes' time. I'm just going to get my coconut coffee, which is going to get me rock and roll for the day. We've got Sharks and Eels right after this. Yeah, beer run for Shauno. Jay's getting a feed. I'm running to get my coconut coffee. And we'll be back in just a few moments for the second half of, or the final 2 quarters of this game. All right, let's get back underway here. We get back underway as we're still waiting, obviously, for the second half. Let's rush through a few of these stats here at half time. Now, the score is 12-10 to the Indigenous as we wait for the second half to slap up. Is 2 tries to Jacob Labour and Dallin Watani-Lesniak for the Māoris, and they have Mwani Hiroti 1 from 2 on the conversions. Whilst for the Indigenous, you've got Blake Steep and Connor Watson, 2 conversions, both made by Nico Hines from the Sharkies. Now, stats-wise, 52% possession for the Māoris, a 48% possession for the Indigenous. Time in possession is 13 minutes 43 with for the Māoris and 12 minutes 45 for the Indigenous, which means basically 25, just over 26 minutes. It's decent enough. It's not amazing in regards to possession. It means that there is quite a bit of ball out of play, but overall, it's above the 25-minute threshold that you at least want to be seeing 25 minutes of rugby league in this game. Completion rate, you want to see a minimum of 80%. The Māoris are at 81% with 13 from 16. Whilst the Indigenous are 76% at 13 from 17. So the Indigenous are underneath the 80% threshold, which isn't great, but it's still not too far away. It's still completing at a decent rate, but it's just not at the threshold. And then the Māoris, they're just above it with the 81%. Runs-wise, you've got 6 runs the difference, 96 runs for the Indigenous, 90 runs for the Maori, 701 run meters from those 90 runs for the Māoris with 230 post-contact. So they are 199 meters behind the 10 meters on average per run that you really do want to be looking for. That's a fantastic amount of meters per run, but they're well behind that. However, it's actually even further behind for the Indigenous. They're 96 runs for 678 metres. So they're currently actually 23 metres behind the Māoris, which you would expect with the forward pack of this Māori team being much better overall. You would expect this, but that is nearly 200. That's nearly 300 metres behind the 10 metres on average per run, because with the 96, you would be looking for 960 metres there. They're at 678, so it's about 280 or so behind in regards to the run meters to run. So pretty disappointing overall on that factor, but overall that's why it's such a close game here with 12-10. The Māoris are definitely winning out the run meter battle with having 7 less runs now at 89. They've updated it, and 698 to 678. And then at the post contact at 230 to 200, so they're beating them by 30 metres in the post contact despite having 7 less runs. Line breaks though, the Indigenous are on 2-1. Tackle breaks is a whopping 28-16 here to the Indigenous. So, like we said, the forwards are definitely the better here for the Māoris, but the back line, it's quite elusive, and the defense from the Māoris, they're missing a lot of tackles. 28 missed tackles is huge. 28 for the Indigenous is a whopping amount of tackle breaks. Average set distance, 25 and under, turn the stream off, it's pathetic. 25 to 30 is disgusting. 30 to 35 is underwhelming. 35 to 40 is hitting the marker. 40 to 45 is great. 45 to 50 is fantastic, and 50 plus is basically perfect. 43.68 on the average set distance for the Māoris. That is really good. That is in the great category. It's on the mid area of the great category, but it's going and tracking towards the upper area, getting to the fantastic. They're getting a lot of meters on their sets, whilst the Indigenous, they're just underneath the great category at 39.88. They're in the hitting the mark area, but on the extreme upper end of that. So they're only separated by about 3 and a bit meters here at 39.88 to 43.21, but the Māoris are obviously getting it that little bit better overall. Then you got the average play the ball speed. Anything under 3.2 is extremely fast. 3.21 is to 3.21 to 3.39 is fast. 3.4 to 3.59 is average. 3.6 to 3.79 is slow, and 3.8 to 4 is extremely slow, and 4.101 and above is England levels of slow. The Māoris are 3.1. That's extremely fast. They are playing this ball really, really well. Whilst the Indigenous, they're at 3.64 seconds. So they are up at the slow category, right at the beginning of it, but they're still in the slow category. So that is a massive 0.54 seconds that is separating them on the play the ball speeds currently. You go to the offloads, 11 offloads to the Indigenous, 8 offloads to the Maori. So the Indigenous are getting that ball away just a little bit more, but it's pretty similar there. Just a lot of offloads in this game from both these teams. Forced dropouts though, 3 for the Maoris, 0 for the Indigenous. That is a really big lead. And the kick defusal is 67% for the Maoris and 33% for the Indigenous. You go to the effective tackle percentage of 79.8% for the Maoris. That is absolutely horrific. That is absolutely horrific, and we knew that was going to come with the 28 missed tackles. 88% to 90% is hitting the marker. 90% above is fantastic. 88% to 85% is underwhelming, and 85% and below is awful disgusting. They're at 79.8% the Māoris. That is really poor defense. 158 tackles made for 28 missed tackles and 12 ineffective. An average amount of missed tackles in a half in the NRL is about 15 to 17. They're at 28. So 11 higher than the highest of the average there of 17. That is a big amount. And then in the ineffective tackles of 12, the average is usually between 5 to 7. They're at 12, so 5 above the highest of the averages there with the ineffective. And then you've got the Indigenous, who are in the underwhelming category themselves, 86.43%, not quite at the 88%, 172 tackles made for 16 missed tackles and 11 ineffective. So in regards to missed tackles, they're bang smack in the middle of the 15 to 17 on the average, and the ineffective tackles, they are 4 above the highest, the average of 7 with 11 there. So 27 bad tackles in the first half from the Indigenous, but 40 bad tackles in total from the Māoris in the first half, which is basically a bad tackle every single minute, which is not good there, which is not good. Now, in regards to negative play, errors-wise, 3 and below is good, 4 to 6 is average, and the 7 and above is really bad. They're both at 6, so they're both on the upper end of the average, but at least they're not into the awful category. Into the set. Sorry. At least they're not into the awful category there of the 7 and above, but 6 apiece is still not fantastic. And then 4 penalties conceded from the Māoris, 3 penalties conceded there from the Indigenous, and then ruck infringements is 1-0 against the Māoris. So you look across it, and this game is really close, obviously, on the scoreboard. Defensively, the Indigenous have been better here. The errors and the penalties are very similar to each other. The forced dropouts are very key in favour of the Māoris. They've been putting a lot of pressure on there. The offloads are in favour of the Indigenous. The play the ball speed's well in favour of the Māoris. The average set distance and the run meters and post contact is all in favour of the Māoris. The line breaks, though, is in favour of the Indigenous. And the completion rate is now 75% for the Māoris at 12 from 16 and 76% for the Indigenous at 13 from 17. So they're actually both under the threshold there. Overall, it's a close game where you can look at different aspects and attributes of how this game's operating, and one team clearly leads in one department and one team's clearly leading in the other department, and it's really making for an even contest here. It's going to be interesting to see how much the tank keeps going here for the Maori forwards, because that's realistically what needs to win them their game, because we have seen a lot more from these Indigenous backs in the likes of Adokar. He's been great. Trey Fuller, he's been really well and truly into it. Braden Trindle and Nico Hines getting it going. So I still feel like the Indigenous win this game, but it is close for a reason. It is very close for a reason. But that's a stats at half time. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. In the poll, we've had 68% of people vote for the Māori All Stars and 32% of people vote for the Indigenous All Stars. Again, I just couldn't believe that in the first half, before the game started, the Māoris were actually favourites here. I couldn't believe it looking at team rosters. But second half has started, and the kickoff will be from the Indigenous, and they will get it. Oh no, they dropped the ball and the Māoris will get it. That was a really good kickoff, however, from the Indigenous, but the Māoris do pick it up through Brett Nakora after a mistake. And it's going to be second tackle here for the Māoris at the 30. Don't forget, these are in quarters. So this is the third quarter. There's 20 minutes left of the third quarter. And then we will have one more quarter after this. Also, after this game finishes, we're pretty much straight over to the Cronulla Sharkies taking on the Parramatta Eels in the NRL preseason, which will wrap us up for the weekend of Rugby League. We'll have one more preseason week next week, and then it will be Las Vegas in 2 weeks' time. But also later tonight, we will be streaming India vs Pakistan in the T20 World Cup, which will be a big game. Fit tackle for the Māoris at the halfway point. Love that the commentary has just said Kanakini looks sharp. He has looked sharp. Hasn't had too many opportunities today, but when he's had his opportunity, he did receive a penalty earlier before. Obviously added his jinky jivey best as that little enigmatic fullback, and Indigenous will grab it through Jaden Campbell at the 10. Is he playing fullback right now? Yeah, I think Jaden Campbell might be playing in the fullback department. No, Trey Fuller's, I think, still there, but Jaden Campbell was waiting out back behind the 10 for that ball just then. I'm not sure. Apparently the away team in this format has a tremendous record as well, which would be the Indigenous. The home team has only ever won one of these games. That's actually crazy to think about. Fourth tackle now for the Indigenous, and they're going to be at the 30. They give it to Jaden Campbell, who runs that ball hard, and he'll bring it out to about the 40 or so on fifth tackle. And Nico Hines, he'll kick that ball to the 25. Now out to the 35. No, he's still going. Dallin Martinez Lesniak might have space here. Adokar. Locks him down. Can they get the offload away? Has an opportunity. Didn't get the ball away, though. Could have. It was a good run there from Dallin, but Josh Adokar locks him up on the defense. The Parramatta Eels man now second tackle to get this ball to the 40 on their own side of the field. Fisher Harris off to Keanu Kinney. Keanu Kinney had to stop on the line. Nobody was really waiting for a ball there. Nobody was ready for it. And it just gets crunched in the line. Mweni Hiroti now. He'll go to Royce Hunt. And Royce Hunt punches this ball past the halfway point on fourth tackle. Who's going to be the one to really break this game open, though, for the Māori? Surely, Britt Nakora's had a really good game here. If you're a Sharks fan, you'd be definitely loving the form we're seeing from Nakora, because he has to have a big season this year with Billy Burns having as good of a back end as he did last in 2025. A good take from Jaden Campbell. He must be playing fullback right now. Jaden Campbell must be playing fullback, which is very interesting considering he hasn't played fullback for a couple of years, even though he did come through as a fullback. It's very interesting that he is playing fullback as he is the halfback for the Gold Coast Titans. And now they'll get this ball to about the 37 or so on third tackle. Jack Whiten. Message at halftime for the Indigenous was that they were resilient at the end of the first half. That's actually correct. I would agree with that from the commentary. Oh, good run. That's a great run there from Oliver Pascoe, and it's fit tackle at the 50. Pascoe's come on, and he's definitely given it a solid crack. A young man from the Titans. That wind is definitely blowing that ball straight backwards, and that's going to be a knock-on here from the Indigenous at the 35. You've noticed today, going the way the Indigenous are attacking to the Maori try line right now, going that way, the wind is blowing strong back towards the Indigenous side. That definitely was a high tackle. That should have been a penalty against Trey Mooney. That 100% should have been a penalty, but Adam G missed that one. I don't know how he's actually missed that, because they all complained about it. Wait. 1990, they're talking about Henson Park right now. Saying 1990 was the last time there was ever a game of professional rugby league. Oh, they are actually going to come back for the penalty here. They are going to come back for the penalty. Wow, they've come back a couple of tackles. Well, to be fair, that was the last tackle, I guess. But they are going to come back to the penalty for that high tackle on Oliver Pascoe. And Brett Nakora will go on report. And will come out with his nose a bit jacked up as well. That wind has not stopped, man. Nakora's going off. Yeah, he's going off. He's had a great game, though, Nakora. 34 degrees here, and summer has not hit yet. Love a cold beer. Yeah, I know it's going to get warmer here in the old Vietnam. How's the weather in the Philippines? Because obviously I'm still in Vietnam for another month and a bit, but like a month and a half nearly. But Philippines weather in Philippines weather in April. What's that usually like? Daytime temperatures in Manila climb towards 32 to 35 degrees. Ooh, yikes! Adokar is going to score a try. Josh Adokar will come out of nowhere and score a double in this game. 16-10 with a kick to come. He just absolutely bounces off. Who's the defender here? He just bounced off him, man. Absolutely bounced off him. Too easy there for Josh Adokar. Braden Trindle, I think this is, with the nice kick. I think it's going to be Keanu Kinney. Yeah, he's following up underneath, and he just tries to get a contact, but Keanu Kinney does get done over by Adokar there. And it's too easy. Keanu Kinney was disadvantaged as he had to rush across, and Adokar definitely had the advantage on that one, and gets over the top of Keanu. But a try time for the Indigenous. It is 16-10 with a kick to come. 14 minutes left of the third quarter. For anyone who's been to the Philippines, can you tell me, is it like dry heat or is it humid heat? Daytime temp. Oh, no, sorry, that's not his second because the first try was denied. No, that's his first, sorry, because the try time was taken away on his previous try. Reese's Bulldogs legend. Oh, my gosh, listen to him. Least for most tries in All Stars game, Adokara is now rocketed into by himself number 1, Ben Barber and Dane Gagai both on 4. Daytime temperatures in Manila clump towards 32-35 degrees with occasional peaks exceeding 35 degrees on extreme heat days. Deary me. Deary me. Sneezing. A beauty. Tigers development product at its finest. Yeah, beautiful stuff there, Adokara. Yeah, beautiful Tigers legend there. Massive Tigers legend. So Nico Hines, this would be an amazing kick. He's not getting it, guys. It would be incredible to get this with the wind that we've seen today. And he will kick, and oh my gosh, he's just missed it. That would have been amazing if he had been able to get that kick. Would have been one of the best kicks you'll see because the wind today has been just diabolical against. That ball was never curling in. You can't curl that ball in with the wind that you're seeing today. Yeah, Tigers, they're very good at the old developing, Mitchell. Very good development. Then again, you've stolen one of our development, Javon Andrews, mate, so I'm claiming him for the rest of eternity. I will claim Javon Andrews for the rest of all time. Lagan says Tigers development is shit right now. Okay, thank you, Lagan. Well, they only just won by scoring about 46 odd points yesterday against the Roosters, so I think they'll be all right with their development as we currently speak. Second tackle. Now, I know that overall in the younger grades, they in 2024, they won the spoon in every single grade. Penalty to the Indigenous. Penalty to the Indigenous here at their own 20. Josh Paxton, Gold Coast Titans product, will get the penalty. So yeah, they're coming off of their own 20 here, the Indigenous, and at least that missed kick. Oh, geez, that wind is just so awful. The kick to the sideline has literally lost them 5 metres. They lost metres on a penalty kick. They just lost metres on that penalty kick. That is just yikes. Yikes. Who does Shuck Mitchell even play for? He doesn't have a contract with an NRL team right now. There's word that apparently his Super League team is going to get him, but he's currently actually signed with the Tweedhead Seagulls, and that does not mean that he's a Titan. It just means that he's playing for the club that is our feeder club. Third tackle now for Tallis Duncan at the 43. And now Blake Steep to the 50 on 4th tackle. The wind gusts are insane today. I'm not even in Waikato. No, it's full on, mate. Every time you see the Māori team in the first half kick the ball down, the wind just full on brings it back. And look at this one for the Indigenous. And look at the wind gust that just stops it in its tracks. And Keanu Kenny with a great take. And Keanu Kenny brings it all the way out to the 25. Get around. Special K. What a beautiful man. That's what he does, though, Keanu. That's what he does. You can't stop him. Second tackle at the 30. Shaq got to end up back at Taree footy very soon. Well, what? Didn't you say something about him being at Super League? Shakai Mitchell, Super League. Because we have no need for him in regards to the Titans, and he's currently at our at feeder club, but we don't have any need. We've got plenty of forwards. And that's going to be sent skyward, and that's going to bounce directly over for a 7-tackle set. That's the disadvantage that the Māoris will have in certain aspects because the wind is going to help push that one over the dead ball line. But 10 minutes to go here in the third quarter, guys. Do me a favour, hit that like button. It's free, you may as well. And subscribe if you are new around here. Right after this, we have the Sharks versus the Eels at Henson Park for the first time since 1990 rugby league action there. The first time in a while we've seen a knock on, though. That's not true. Canberra will knock it on for the Indigenous, and the Māoris will get the ball at the 35. Sharks versus Eels in the pre-season. Then later on tonight, we've got Pakistan versus India in the T20 World Cup. I think it was just rumours, mate. Loffy, unfortunately, hasn't been able to get into this game today. They haven't really gotten too much ball out to him. It's funny because Loffy could actually play for both teams here. Loffy could actually represent both the Māori team and the Indigenous team, but he's just chosen the Indigenous team because he has Pakistani heritage, he has Māori heritage, and he has Indigenous heritage as well. So second tackle. And they'll be 15 metres out from the line. Can they tie this game up now? The Māori, they've got a prime opportunity. Fisher Harris to Nickel Clockstad, hits the grass and will lose the ball. So the Indigenous now will get their chance. A knock on from the Māoris will give the ball straight on back. Jeez, I love how many Titans are in this game. How good is the Titans in this game? So many of them. I've been impressed with Blake Steep from the Roosters today. He's had a good game. Fisher Harris has been very solid. I think he needs to have a better year this year. Made a lot of errors, made a lot of mistakes the Warriors last year, but his defense and the structure that he brought across from the Panthers really did solidify them through the middle overall, but he did make some really crucial errors in crucial times. 6 again here for the Indigenous team, and Shakai Mitchell will bring this ball to the 35 on first tackle. He has lost meters a couple of times. He's come into contact today, Shakai, so that is not a good sign for his future. Chuck Loffing in the cricket later tonight. I don't know if you're going to be wanting to go into a game of that much ferocity and that much heat. I'm telling you that like 2 billion people will be watching that game tonight. Like 2 billion. Billion with a B. They'll get this ball to the 40, and it's going to be a 4 tackle. Because you've got 1.3 billion people in India. You've got like nearly 400 million people in Pakistan. You're obviously going to have all the people in Nepal, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, all watching, all the Indians, Pakistanis around the world. You're going to get close to like, buddy, 1.52 bill. Keanu Kenny will get the offload away. Good offload to Chance, and it's going to get them away from being stuck at the 5. They'll actually get out to the 12 because of it. Good offload there from Kiana. That's how big that game actually is. Sure, that is crazy. 2 billion people and we get Shatish. Yep, that's true. Keanu Kenny, great run to the 35. Look at him go. And 6 again. Wow, that was very good by Keanu. And they get the offload away. And this is going to be Trey Mooney, who brings it to the halfway point on first tackle. Maori is they're starting to get a bit more momentum in this game. Starting to go back into their favour. Second tackle. God save the chat. We've already had a Pakistani here today, and Shatish says he's going to get a few of his Indian mates onto the stream tonight. You know, it's going to be pretty rocking. Going to be pretty rocking, that's for sure. Oh, that's an unbelievable run from Zach Docker-Clay. Oh no, who is that number 14? Who's the number 14 here? The number 14 is Trent Toilau. Now that's Zach Docker-Clay. He'll get the ball away. Keanu Kenny. Keanu Kenny stepping. Keanu Kenny looking. Keanu Kenny goes. Offloads it. Chase Fisher-Harris. He's looking. He gets the ball offloaded. Zach Docker-Clay. Docker-Clay. He steps. And now it's fit tackle 5 metres away. Luckily enough, Lagan, there's like thousands of Hindi and Urdu channels that'll probably take away from that. So I just want to be able to watch the game tonight, really. Oh, hold on. HIA here for an Indigenous player. Oliver Pascoe comes off with a HIA. Oliver Pascoe. Luckily, there's thousands of Hindi and Urdu channels that'll probably take away views from us, which I don't mind. But will they score? I don't know. This is going to be close. Oh, it's a try for the Maori right underneath the post. Right underneath. They have called it as a try. Let's have a look at this one again. But I'm pretty certain that if the referee's called this and he's got this ball down, it was close. No one saw it coming from Toalau. He just goes for the scoot. And he was really good across that last little bit of the set. And yeah, he'll get that. He'll get that. No, Sean, I don't think we'll get that many people. I'm kind of hoping so too, because I just want to enjoy the game tonight, not have a whole bunch of toxicity in the chat. But oh, has he actually got that down? The angle of the ball here didn't look fantastic there for that actually being a try. What might save him is that the referee's called this as a try, But I don't think that ball goes down the ground. It's up there, it's up there, it's up there, it's up there. I think it's still up with his wrist. There's no evidence to say it's a no try, but if this was also a no try, they would have said that there's no evidence to overturn for a try. Yeah, they're gonna say it's a try. The try has been confirmed because there's no way you could overturn that. Hit the like button for free on Sundays. Yeah, it is. It is. Like I said, stream would be hectic if we got in the YouTube algorithm. Yeah, so it just happens, bro, sometimes. Like, for example, the first game of our Pakistan versus Australia stream just before the World Cup, we hit the YouTube algorithm, and I think we ended up getting like 50, 60k views from it. Like, it was just random. It just happens randomly. Mania Charrington would have done a backflip while putting the ball down with his pinky finger. Yeah, Mitchell's drunk already. Drunk already here on a Sunday fun day. But the kick is made, and it is 16-16 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go here of the third quarter. It's a close game, baby. Close game. 24.5 minutes to go of the game. 4.5 left of the quarter. Tasman says, who put this on during the day? I don't know why this isn't like a night game. I would have liked this to have been a Thursday nighter or a Friday nighter. Why not put this on Friday night? For mine, I would have really preferred it to be the prime time. 50-60k was for the Pakistan versus Australia game 1 that we had before the World Cup started. Yeah, I think we had like 1,300 people in live chat at one stage. And then we got slapped. Oh, Keanu Kenny will get that ball just before it breaks away for the Indigenous. Very lucky. Yeah, sometimes YouTube just goes wild with the algorithm, man. You can't ever decide it. Second tackle. But I have put on my title for tonight, English commentary, because anyone who's looking for English commentary will have it here. Third tackle at 33. Is that the dog second? Yeah, but you've already played your preseason and you won't finish in the top 8, you would assume, by the end of the preseason. Because there'll be plenty of teams that will jump above that. Oh, that's going to be a higher tackle here against the Indigenous and the Maori. The Maori will get another great opportunity. The games were just more exciting when it was at night. Yeah, I agree. It's just not as exciting. It feels like a bit of a... It just feels like a bit of a whatever game right now. Like, I love it for the culture. I love it for the representation. But as a neutral, I would say that this isn't as exciting as when it was on at night. The night games just gave it that oomph. Whilst right now I feel like this is a glorified... It feels like a glorified preseason game in a lot of ways. Which I don't like to say because I don't want it to be that. But if it was at night, it's a spectacle. It's a big show. Second tackle now for the Maori at the 15. You know, right now, people on a Sunday, they're out doing things. Friday night, Thursday night, they're watching the game. Maori's 5 metres out from the line, third tackle. They'll give that ball to Zach Clay. And Mooney gives it to Dunn. Who? I don't even know who that is. They're the number 18 for the Maori, but Trey Mooney. Mooney 2 metres away from the line. Good tackle. Jamal Fogarty also on for the Indigenous. They go short side. No, Shakai Mitchell locks down Zach Clay really quickly, and they don't get anything off there. Brilliant stuff. Trent To'alau, sorry, not Zach Clay. Greg Munt said 6 p.m., 6 or 5 p.m., depending on where you are, would be pretty awkward, to be fair. What do you mean? 6? No, well, I'm saying the 8 p.m. game. The 8 p.m. game in New Zealand, like, you could have chucked it maybe as the 8 p.m. on the Thursday or the Friday. Yeah, look, okay, that means we don't get an 8 p.m. game here in Australia. Or put a preseason game on in Australia at the 8 p.m. and then you get the 2 primetime slots. So 4th tackle now for the Māoris. No, 4th tackle for the Indigenous at the 45. And they'll bring this ball to the 45 on the Maori side of the field. Minute and a half to go the third quarter. Didn't even know this was on until they got the notification for the stream. Unfortunately, the promo isn't exactly spectacular unless you're watching rugby league games, and they will Get this ball now. Keanu Kenny to the 20 on first tackle. Minute 20 to go the third quarter. Because what time is it in New Zealand right now? 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7. Is it 7:30 p.m.? Oh, knock on. And the Indigenous now, they've got their chance. Big knock on to the hit. And they're 20 metres away from the line. Here come the Indigenous. 58 seconds left of the third quarter. That's the worst time to make a mistake and put the opposition onto the attack. They are 10 metres out through Caden Lars. That's arguably a penalty. Damn, they haven't called that. First tackle, 5 metres away. They roll it out to Connor Watson. Watson, short ball to the line. And to knock on, that is a dumb pass, bro. That was a dumb pass. I actually think it was Fogarty. Watson, I think, gave it to Fogarty. And Fogarty with a pretty silly pass into the line. And it will be a knock on from the Indigenous. And that will probably be the end of the third quarter. Mind you, guys, there is no extra time, I don't believe. It would be a draw if it finished up as a draw. But there is still 20 minutes to go of this game. And then don't forget, right after it finishes, we will have the Sharks versus the Eels in the NRL preseason. So still one more game of the NRL to go. Oh, damn, I just realised. Yeah, that game, I hope that it's short in regards to the quarter time because that game starts in 35 minutes' time. Rugby Therapy says Fogarty, aka Aiden Caesar with a spray tan. Yeah, valid. Yeah, valid. But 10 metres out from their own line, 33 seconds left. Maori just don't make a mistake. Zach Docker-Clay with a good run to the 15. 25 seconds left. Oh, Zach Docker-Clay is solid, but he's just not that next level. He's not able to take his game into the NRL. Obviously, the Roosters now have Reece Robson and Connor Watson there, so he's not getting any time anytime soon. And they go quickly out the back. Last little chance here, the first half. Mwani Hiroti gets away from one, the man who looks like the accountant. Rolls the ball back at the 40. This is the last play of the third quarter. And crunching the tackle should be an easy take for the Indigenous. And that is Nicho Hynes getting absolutely slammed in the tackle. Wowee. Oh, Trey Mooney, that's dog shit from him. Like, it's all fair and love and war, man, but that's dog shit from him. He's deliberately tried to level out the halfback. He's calling Nicho Hynes a pussy right now. You can see him saying that. Trey Mooney's just given away a penalty, by the way. He has a big smile on his face, but there is a penalty here, so the Indigenous will get one last chance in this third quarter. If you're late by 1 minute, I'm unsubscribing. Good. Good. So Trey Mooney's been penalised here. Adam G, like, he's got every right to give it to Nicho Hynes here, but it's the afterwards carry on, I think, that Adam G doesn't like. Yeah, he's come in and then he slammed him again there. Like, I don't know why he's done that, and he's laughing at it. Yeah, he just keeps calling him a pussy. You're a flog, bro. Like, you're a flog. It was just so unnecessary. You're a flog. Like, there's no wonder why your NRL career hasn't kicked off yet, has it, Trey Mooney? What have you really done today besides that as well? Nicho Hynes, he'll get taken out of the 50, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter. So there we go. That is three-quarter time here, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. It is a tie game of 16-16. Well, there's nothing wrong with him hitting Nicho Hynes. It's just the second follow-up play that's just so dog shit from Trey Mooney. Oh, they're showing Henley Park now. Henson Park, sorry. Where is Henson Park? For all the Sydney folk that follow us, where is Henson Park? Is it near, like... Is it Newtown? Is that Newtown, or where is that? Actually, I think it is, because they're all wearing Newtown hats. They all are wearing Newtown hats. Oh, no, Albanese's here. Oh, God, help us. Big shackle fault, Mooney. So 24 minutes until that next stream. I'm probably going to have to change that, to be fair, because that game doesn't start till 2 p.m. It's 1:30 p.m. for me. I know that's not your time. Let me just go, and I'm going to have to go and change that right now. Marrickville. Yeah, but it's the home of the Newtown Jets, no? Is it the home of the Newtown Jets? I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, 150 that's meant to start. I'm going to change that to 155. I don't think it's going to start by then as well, though. I'm going to just change it to 2. And then if we start earlier, we start earlier. But I'm going to change it to when it's meant to start. Because this game will probably still go for another maybe 25, 30. Oliver Smith says, which side are you supporting, bro? Well, I'm not either, mate. I'm not Indigenous and I'm not Maori. I'm just here for a good game, mate. I would love to see either team get up. And I'd be sad for whoever didn't get up. But ultimately, it's not my fight to be fought, mate. It's just I'm just enjoying a bit of rugby league as we watch all the games here. And we're just looking at, individual players for mine. Obviously, I'm a Titans fan, so I'm looking at Keanu Kenny. I'm looking at Jaden Campbell, Jojo Fafita, Oliver Pascoe, Josh Paxton. The incoming Moini Hiroti for the Titans next year. Also the incoming, however, Peru for the Titans next year. So that's kind of what neutrals a lot of the time will focus on in games like this. For us, this is like a glorified preseason game in a lot of ways. But obviously for the two cultures, it's not like that. It's a representation kind of deal. But from a neutral perspective, I'm not really looking for, a winner and loser kind of deal. Like I said, it's like Sydney Airport area a little bit. Oh, there you go. For all the hate that Nico Hines cops, no one ever acknowledges how Nico is more or less the only superstar who never flakes this Māori vs Indigenous All Stars fixture. Yeah? Well, I don't think Addo Carr ever flaked it either, but he just had his own issues. I don't think Addo Carr's ever flaked it. But yeah, there is a lot of players who do skip out on it because they do see it as a preseason game, which it shouldn't be seen as that, but it is. Para don't play Kane Evans, we right. Is he signed to Para, is he? Gee whiz. Wait, is Belinda Sharp refereeing this last quarter? What? What? Why is there a ref change? Why is Adam G gone? Why is Belinda Sharp refereeing? What? Why is Belinda Sharp refereeing this game now? We just... Oh, hold on, Jay Duke. Oh, Jake's actually checking out what's happening. So for guys who don't know, Adam G has been the referee for the first 3 quarters of this game. Now Belinda Sharp is refereeing this final quarter. I don't know what's happening. Second tackle here for the Māori team. They're at the 45. They got a 6 again. Belinda's on fire already. And it'll be second tackle at the 45. Now at the 40 on third tackle. Injury, Nikhil says? I don't know. We're just waiting to hear from Jake Duke, but he hasn't come on yet. 4 tackle at the 38. What a weird thing to happen. No, but if they don't sign him, they're getting replaced by a second Belmore team. Yeah, we're probably not going to include a second Belmore team in the comp. Royce Hunt with a great run. I'm not reading that coming out into ends here. Not reading that out. So they're going to kick that ball across and Josh Adokar gets away. Josh Adokar's away here. The 10. Oh, they get him down just before he really breaks away. That was a really good spin from him, though. That's like changing an umpire in an ODI. Well, it's just weird. 3 quarters in and they're changing it. Latrell Mitchell reckons he's bigger than the All Stars game now. High tackle. Yep, there's a penalty. There is the penalty. Alofiana Campera gets hit across the head. So the Indigenous will get out of their own area. But it's going to be difficult to kick this ball long. Last time they had a penalty, they kicked it 5 metres behind. 5 metres backwards. And they're going to go for a tap and go. They don't want to risk it. They don't even want to risk it. All right, they're at the 50 through Caden Lars. 18 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. Adam G is hamstring tightness, so that's why he's not in the 4th quarter. Adam G is hamstring tightness. That's why Belinda Sharp is refereeing this final quarter. We have not seen that. I haven't seen that in a long time, bro. When was the last time we saw a referee change mid-game? 3rd tackle at the 30. Gives it off to Nico Hines. No, he's pretty shit-house from Latrell Mitchell, to be honest with you, that he doesn't play this anymore. Considering that he's meant to be the big advocate for the Indigenous game. I do understand that he's focusing on his Rabbitohs and focusing on his own self, but You know, this is for your culture, bro, that you so proudly represent. Oh, Nico Hines, good run, fit tackle. Oh, that should have been it for Connor Watson, but he just wasn't ready for it when he should have been ready for it. It's a knock-on from the Indigenous. Connor Watson should have got this ball. He just didn't think that Hines would get the offload away, but you have to be ready for it at all times. He's not ready for it. That's on Connor Watson. Imagine being a bench referee. Imagine having to fly to New Zealand to be a bench referee in this game. But she's in. But she's in, to be fair. Second tackle. But the reason why, obviously, is because she refereed the women's game before, I would assume. Third tackle. That's the actual reason. I would assume, anyway. Fourth tackle now. Oh, no, they get the offload away on third tackle. And they're going to get the offload away again to Moeni Hiroti, the accountant. Fourth tackle, 35 metres away from the line. That bloke that got kneed in the head was the last time I can remember a ref going down. Dude, that was like 20-odd years ago. That was a long time. Yeah, Tony Carroll with the knee. That was really scary stuff. Like, he could have died from that, dude. That was such a scary situation. Addo Carr, he's been really solid today. He'll be at the 10, first tackle. Remember, there is no extra time. Oh, this needs a blood bin for Jack White. And look at the blood coming down from the top of his head. Good run here from Loffy. Loffy will bring it to the 40 on third tackle. Jay Ferrugia says, wish the All-Stars game had golden points. Would hate a draw. Well, we have seen a draw before. We have. But I agree with you. I do agree with you. So out to the left. Jamal Fogarty with one of the most boring runs of all time. Fit tackle now to 35. Fit tackle, 15 minutes left here. Braden Trindle puts that ball up in the air and will sit right, and Addo Carr will catch it, but he'll get absolutely barreled into the ground. Jojo Fafita, he has really enjoyed this battle with Addo Carr today. He's smashed him a couple times. Addo Carr's been good, but Jojo Fafita has smashed him a couple times as well. Smashed him. Smashed him. Smashed him. 15 to go. Call the draw at the start, probably rigged again. Yeah, but Jay, you didn't do that because you thought it would be a draw. You did that just because you wanted to go against the mainstream. You wanted to be an indie man against the mainstream. Third tackle now for the Māoris, and they're at the 45 on the Indigenous side of the field. They get this ball all the way across, and he's been smashed, but he gets the ball away again. And it's a knock on. Yep, it is a knock on in the tackle. It's a great tackle there. And Trey Mooney's not laughing anymore. Knock on. Lance has thought this would have been a high-scoring game. Yeah, look, I probably would have agreed. But with that being said, the team lineup for the Māoris didn't really have really big-time halves. And when you do look at the halves that the Māoris did have, they did lose Tamani Martin earlier to an injury, who is more so a 6, but was playing halfback. And the 5'8" is Chance Nickel-Klokstad, who is usually a fullback or a centre. And there's no real big timers outside of those two to really replace them with. And then for the Indigenous, they've got too many halves, too many cooks in the kitchen in a lot of ways. So look, it's been 16-16, but both teams have been able to kind of hold it without giving up too many points overall. But the Indigenous feel like they've got too many cooks in the kitchen. So third tackle here for the Indigenous. They're 20 metres away. Off to Jamal Fogarty, then to Shakai Mitchell. And Shakai Mitchell's going to be 12 metres out. Fourth tackle. Can the Indigenous take the lead with just 13 minutes to go? Braden Trindle at the back. Would have been instruction if he didn't go down. And it'll be fifth tackle 10 metres away. Fifth tackle. Less than 10 metres out. They go to the open side. Braden Trindle. He goes short ball to the line. Why? Why would you go short ball into a line to an uncontracted player in Shakai Mitchell? Fifth tackle, seriously? You're 8 metres out. You're not getting a crash play from 8 metres out with Shakai Mitchell, bro. How do you go from Luai and Hughes to Chance and Martin? Yeah, and again, Martin only played like 10 minutes because Tamati Martin, his right ankle bone, the knee of one of the other Māori players, I can't remember, it was someone's a knee, went directly into the side of his of the side of his ankle bone. Just brutal. Third tackle. So if you're a Warriors fan, you'd be hoping he's okay. Oh, it's a knock on. No, she said to play it. She said to go back and play it. I thought she was whistling for a knock on there. Fourth tackle. Māoris at the 25. They don't really have too much momentum here, Māoris. They're stuck in their own 30. And that's a great run from Nakora, who's probably been their best today. I think that Britt Nakora has been the best player for the Māori All Stars today. Right on the 40. It's out in the full. It's out in the full. That's not a good kick. And the Indigenous will go back on the attack here. It was going for a 40-20 here, Toll out. But instead, he will kick it out in the full. And the Indigenous will get a brilliant attacking opportunity. And look, I don't think a field goal is a chance with this weather. With this wind, I don't think that you're looking too heavily at the old field goal. But there's going to be plenty of try-scoring opportunities in this set. 30 metres away. Shakai Mitchell comes off the field. Nico Hines. And now Hohepa Peru. 25 metres out. One of the leading tacklers. Good on him. Future Gold Coast Titan next year. Beautiful. We need plenty of tacklers. Third tackler. If the Indigenous get a penalty, they will take the 2. 100%. Don't do it at the beginning of the game, but do it now for sure. 10 minutes to go here of the game, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. 10 minutes to go. Sharks versus Eels right after this in the NRL pre-season. They get the offload away. Jaden Campbell. That's a high tackle. That's a high tackle. Oh, damn. They didn't call it as a high tackle. That was definitely high, though. Braden Trindle. He's going to kick this ball across. Oh, try time for the Indigenous unless there's a knock-on inside. It looks like there's going to be a knock-on inside. Yeah, it is going to be a knock-on inside. Lofiana Khan-Pereira, he did put it over the line, but they will say that at the kick, Trindle put it up. Yeah, definitely a knock-on there from... Definitely a knock-on there from the number 4 here for the Indigenous, which is Jesse Ramian. We've never had an All-Stars game decided by 1 point, apparently. We have had a draw, but we've never had a field goal decided. Second tackle here for the Māori. They're at 30. Now 35 on third tackle. 10 minutes left. Appreciate it, Rugby League. Would have popped out in it. It would have popped it out and back in again. Painful. It would have been brutal. No ends here. They don't always do it to game in quarters. It's going to go backwards here. No, it's going to be a knock-on from the Māoris at the halfway point. A lot of errors here that are just keeping the Indigenous with attacking opportunities in this game. Docker Clay wants this to be challenged, so he is challenging this. I think you may as well. Belinda originally thought it was backwards, but then she changed her call to knock on. No, it's usually 2 halves of 40 minutes ends here. This is an exhibition match, so they're just doing 20-minute quarters to keep it all, I guess, together. But no, they do 20-minute quarters in this. So it goes backwards towards his own goal line. Oh, well, that clearly goes backwards. Well, that wasn't even close to going forwards. Why was that called? Why was that changed? Why was that changed to a knock-on? There was no knock-on whatsoever there. It wasn't even close. That's ridiculous. Where did you think that there was a potential knock-on there? Anyway, 9.5 minutes left. Where could you have possibly seen the knock-on in that, Belinda? It's a successful challenge, and the Māori will get their ball still at the 48, and that's a big successful call because that would have been 3 incomplete sets in a row had that remained. Now the Māori are at the 45 on the Indigenous side of the field. What tackle count is it? Okay, now it's 5th tackle. So Zach Docker-Clay puts that ball up into the air. Should be an easy one even Jaden Campbell, who's playing fullback. And Jaden Campbell gets away from 1 tackle, gets away from 2, gets the offload away. And good run to Trey Fuller, who gets the ball to the 30. So what's Trey Fuller playing? Because Jaden Campbell is playing fullback. So what's Trey Fuller playing? Yeah, don't forget, guys, on Friday, we'll be live for Hull versus the Brisbane Broncos. Very early morning, though. Very, very early in the morning. That'll be 6 a.m. in the morning for you guys in New South Wales, 5 a.m. for you guys in Queensland. It might be 2:30 my time, so it might be... Oh, knock on there. And the Kiwis, the Māoris are away here. Māoris are away. They're at the 50, the 45, the 40. Oh, he couldn't get the ball away again, though, and he's been slammed down 40 metres out. 8 minutes 40 to go here of the game. I think it's 2:30 my time, so what, that'd be 6:30 New South Wales time, 5:30 Queensland time, and 8:30 a.m. or so New Zealand time. This is why you're a bench ref. Like it says. So Maori's second tackle. Do you go for the field goal on this set with 8 minutes and 19 seconds to go here? Dirty says, please, All Stars. Well, which All Stars are you talking about? Because they're both All Stars. It's the Maori All Stars versus the Indigenous All Stars. Which All Stars are we referring to here? Third tackle at 20. And the Maori chant comes up. The first chant we've heard today. Maori's fourth tackle, 18 out. 8 minutes left. And they get it across to Casey McLean. Hasn't really featured too much today, Casey. It'll be fifth tackle. 15 metres away. Do you go for a field goal? It's still pretty early. They don't. Docker Clay is going to be the one who puts the ball up into the air. Knocked back here from the Maori, but the Indigenous will pick it up. And it'll be Hohepa Peru, who has been there many times today so far. He gets the ball, and now Trey Fuller. He'll bring this ball away. He'll get to the 20, the 25, the 30. Great run. Nearly knocked that ball on, but it's okay. Oh, wow. I'd challenge that. I don't think that actually hit the ground. I would challenge that. I don't think that hit the ground. There was a little bit of a bobble, but I don't think the ball hits the ground here. This will be interesting. Tarita says they're definitely missing Luai in the halves. Luai and Tamati Hughes just focusing on club footy for now. I agree, but Tamati Martin got injured very early in this game too. Here we go. And he maintains the squeeze with his forearm. He hasn't lost his ball. It's fine. Yeah, no, this is going to be a successful challenge. The Indigenous keep the ball. Yeah, it's a great run there for Trey Fuller. And this is actually beneficial to the Maori anyway because they're going to get everybody back on side now because they were getting done from the run from Trey Fuller, so now they're all back on side. But yeah, even Tamati Martin's not even here because he got injured very early in this game. Yeah, we would be going directly to Henson Park right after this. 7 minutes to go of this, and then there'll literally be 5 minutes until the start of that Sharks-Eels game, so we'll be live for that one as well. Fourth tackle now for the Indigenous. And that'll be the last bit of rugby league for the weekend. Tallis Duncan, Nico Hines, he will run it into the line. He'll run it into the line. He'll get the ball offloaded. Off to Trey Fuller. Trey Fuller's got Josh Adokar here. Josh Adokar. Great tackle by Jojo Fafita. Wow. Really good tackle by Jojo. Good step, good step. The Indigenous away. Braden Trindle through. He puts the ball over the top. Maybe a penalty coming up here. Oh, Jaden Campbell. Oh my gosh, that's a spectacular try from Jaden Campbell and the Indigenous. Jaden Campbell, how has he scored that? How has Jaden Campbell just scored that? How has Jaden Campbell just scored that? How has Jaden Campbell just scored that? That is absolutely incredible. Britt Nakora bleeding from the nose right now. That is outstanding. Braden Trindle fakes the kick, gets through the line, puts the dink up. Trindle gets impacted. Might have been a penalty. He just knocks it down for himself here. Campbell picks it up and puts it down. Beautiful try. How has Jaden Campbell held on to that? His father was the one who actually started the Indigenous versus All Stars concept. And he's going to be the one that maybe just won it for the Indigenous All Stars today in 2026. Jaden Campbell puts his hand up. They may call that a knock-on, though. Britt Nakora's fingers may have touched it. That's not a good angle. This might be no try, lads. I reckon they're going to say Britt Nakora's finger touches this. That last angle was the worst one. I think he has touched it. It's a great grab by JC, but as he's just as he's gathering the ball, Britt Nakora will probably get a finger to it. Yeah, it is a knock-on into the hand of Britt Nakora there. It's unlucky, but it's the right call. So 5 minutes, 18 to go. It's still going to be a tie game at 16-16. It's a tight game. No try. So what are they going to call here? Did they call it the penalty for the takeout earlier? No, they're just going to say it's Māori ball at 10. All right, comment in the chat, guys. Who do you think wins? Do you feel like it's the Indigenous All Stars who find a way to win it? Do you feel like the Māori All Stars find a way to win it? Or do you think that this ends as a draw? There is no extra time. There is 6.5 minutes left of this game. And Braden Trindle has to go off the field here. Why? Yeah, Braden Trindle's been their guy for most of the night. Now he's got a HIA. It's a big loss. Because of the way he went down, maybe from that contact after he kicked it. That's the risk you take. And now it will be the Māori All Stars, 15 minutes out. If Trindle has to go off, he got to give a pen, to be honest. No, well, it just means that he may have taken the dive to really enforce the penalty, not get the penalty, and that's the risk you take. Māori got the home crowd advantage. Nikhil, that doesn't mean anything in this game. The home team has only ever won one of these concepts. The away team has won every single other time. Fisher Harris has been very, very good today. Very, very good at the 42, fourth tackle. Now it's Trey Mooney. And Trey Mooney will get this ball to the halfway point. And now they'll whack that one up there. Waitere. Good take from JC, but it'll be taken down to the 10. 5.5 minutes to go. Can somebody find a way to win, or will this be a draw? And Jesse Raymond will bring it out to the 22. Dirty says, Māori need to lose this game because the other team plays way much better. No, they've both played very similar, and I will say that the Māoris have been very solid in certain periods of this game, and the Indigenous have been very solid in certain periods of this game. No one's been really the better, but whoever wins deserves it. It's been a good game of rugby league. Fourth tackle for the Indigenous. They're going to beat the 40. Good morning, all. I've never slept so good in my life. That plane trip was horrible. Welcome to long distance travel. Nico Hines, he'll get the offload away. Connor Watson steps. He'll be at the halfway point for tackle. 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left, and they whack that ball up in the air through Jamal Fogarty. Does he get it? Yes, he does. Charles Nichol Krokstad. And Jojo Fafita brings it out here to the 35. What a game of rugby league we've got here. That was a 25, sorry. Is Keanu Kinney off the field right now? Because Chance was just playing as the fullback. Where's Keanu? Third tackle at the 42. I can't see. Oh, he's lost the ball. The Māoris have lost the ball. And that is a big drop ball at the halfway point. Yeah, Fisher Harris is another superstar who always makes himself available for this match. He's played 6 of the past 7 years. No, it's great to see. Yeah, that is a big drop there from, I think that's Jacob Laban, isn't it? Yeah, Jacob Laban with the drop. Oliver Smith says, who's got the ball now? Can't watch the game for some reason. Well, it's about to be the Indigenous ball at the halfway point. Went to a Scottish pub last night and watched the England vs Scotland game. I had to teach them about rugby league and have conferred a few, hopefully. You should. We were teaching people about rugby league on the cricket stream last night. Jaden Campbell off to Loffy. Loffy back on the inside, and Loffy we take it out to the 25. The Titans duo there, even though Loffy's now the Warriors. They know how each other play, and JC got the ball with a beautiful run to Loffy. 3.5 minutes to go here, second tackle. Scotland beat the English, did they, Shauno? Up the Scots, did they? Did they really? Did they really in the rugby? Oh, 31-20 Scotland. Go Scotland. You beauty. Indigenous 10 metres away. Nico Hines, short ball into the line. And Jack Whiten's 5 metres out. Fourth tackle. Out to Nico Hines. Hines then to Blake Steep. Steep gets it offloaded. Here's a chance. JC. 4 metres out from the line. Fit tackle. JC's been very good since coming on. 2 minutes 50 to go here. Short ball to the line! Oh, held up. Oh, that's great defense. Tallis Duncan. Oh, it's a forward pass anyway. Australian Health shows Connor Watson on still. I can't see. Hold on. I need to look. I don't see him, bro. I don't think so. I'm trying to look for him. I don't think so, mate. First, if I see him, I'll let you know. First tackle. Now second tackle for the Māori. There's only 2:17 left. This will be a draw at this point. There is no extra time. And in 5 minutes' time, guys, we'll be going live to the Sharks versus the Eels in the NRL preseason. Fisher Harris is coming back on for the final 2 minutes. 4 tackle at the halfway point. What a game. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. We are live for every rugby league game here. If you love your rugby league, this is the place to be. 5th tackle now for the Māori All Stars. They're just not getting a chance to actually win this game at all. Unless there's a mistake here, but Jaden Campbell, under so much pressure. That's unbelievable from JC. 1:43 left. Arguably a penalty there. Surprised they haven't called a penalty. Now, Addo Carr, this is the Indigenous last roll of dice, but the field goal, you can't kick a long-range field goal with this win today. Second tackle at the 15. You need something to really go your way here for both teams. I think this is going to be a draw. The Māoris will actually get one good attacking position left for a field goal because they've got the win behind their backs as well. They're going nowhere at the moment. Oh, Connor Watson was right there, by the way. Yeah, Connor Watson is on. Nico Hines to Addo Carr. Addo Carr pushes off one. It's 5th tackle, and they're 70 metres away. They only got to the 30. Nico Hines, he's going to have to kick this to wherever he can, and that's going to bounce around the 25. Chance Nibble clocks out of the 30 to the 35. And 52 seconds left here. This is going to be a draw unless the Māori can score right now. First tackle, 40 metres out from their own line for the Māori All Stars. Give it off to Jojo Fafita, and Jojo Fafita runs it to the 45. Does anyone have a long boot on him? Does anybody have a long boot on him here for the Māori All Stars? They're now at the 45 on the Indigenous side of the field. Jesse Arthurs. 30 seconds left here of the game. We've never had a game decided by 1 point. The wind is at the back of the Māori All Stars. They're 4 tackle, 33 metres away. 33 metres out. Now they're going to be 25 metres out. Surely the field goal comes right now. Surely the field goal comes right now. Are you ready for it? They go back. Zach Docker-Clay. It's been charged down. The Indigenous get it. And now the Indigenous will get one. Oh, to knock on. They're going to be quick. Are they going to challenge it? No, it's a not. Belinda Sharp. So they've charged it down. They've They've got the ball. Belinda's called it as a knock-on. The Indigenous have now challenged it. I don't think you should have challenged it because you're not going to be able to... Well, I guess they want to try and get one last chance, but you're 70 metres away. But the game would have just straight up ended in a draw. It's a great challenge here. You just better hope you don't give away a penalty from it. Charged down by number 20. Now, there's no extra time in All-Stars concept. He's the one who gets to it. And, yeah, he definitely knocks the ball on there. So you've actually allowed the Māoris to have one opportunity here, Indigenous. You shouldn't have challenged that. Oh, don't worry, it's the end of the game. It's the end of the game, so it will be a draw, 16-16. Guys, there is no extra time. There is no extra time. Unfortunately, there is no extra time. So the Māori will retain the trophy, but it is a draw here. Well, fantastic game from Britt Nakora. Fantastic game from a few of the boys. But, guys, I'm going to jump off here because we're going to jump straight across into the Sharkies, taking on the Parramatta Eels in the preseason as the final preseason game of the weekend. So hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here. Jay was correct, Shauna. He was, not that he had the right intentions behind it, but he was correct. But guys, I'll see you in literally 2 minutes time for the Sharks versus the Eels. Congratulations to both teams for a fantastic game there. Really, really exciting finish, and I will see you in just a few moments. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.